me. I do my best to do my part. Nothing in my pockets, I got nothing up my sleeve. I keep my magic in my heart. Keep up your spirit, keep up your faith, baby. I am counting on you. You know what you got to do. Fight the good fight, everybody. Every minute, every day.
Hello, everybody. It's us again, and yeah, this is actually I'm really excited for this live today, and I want to welcome Brian, Kipp, Chuck Wilson. I don't even know your name. I'm just kidding. Sensor truck driver Chuck and Dub Wilkinson to the show.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. Yep, thanks for having us, Michelle.
And so we're gonna be working on. We're gonna have a special guest today. If we can get her on the panel, she's never done a StreamYard getting on the panel thing. So I'm gonna try to explain it to her. Her name is Ann C. She is in Asheville, North Carolina, and she went through the devastation. And so we really want to get her on the panel so she can tell us her story, and she can tell us what's real and what's not and what's been going on. I think it's going to be an awesome live if we can get her on here. She is in the chat, so I do want to explain to her how to do this. If you're ready, Ann, let me know to make sure that you're here. And then, but yeah, we're real excited to get her on here. So
a trustable source, somebody that you can believe.
Absolutely. 100%. And, to get it from, she said, I'm ready. Okay. So what I'm going to do, Ann, is I'm going to drop the StreamYard link and you're going to click on it, but see, you're going to be on YouTube. So you have your YouTube up. What you're going to have to do is once you click on that link, you're going to have to turn off your YouTube because it's going to echo. Once you get, it's going to take you backstage and it's going to ask you, it's going to show you a camera because I'm hoping that you're on your laptop because you said you had one. It's much easier if you're on your laptop, but it's going to say, help me out here.
Allow camera.
Yeah.
You want to hit allow camera. That doesn't mean that you're going to be showing your face, but you have to hit allow camera, and then once it says enter, you can cut it off. Then you turn it off.
Yes, you can click off your camera, and you won't have to be. You could just have your avatar. That's up to you.
Right.
If you want to show your face, or if you want to just have your avatar, that's fine. I most likely don't like to show my face because I don't like it, but so that's why I don't show mine. But it'll ask you for to put your name in, and then if you want to use this avatar, and then you're gonna you click on that avatar. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're pretty intelligent, so I'm sure you can figure it out. But that's what we're gonna have to do. But you have to turn off your YouTube, either mute it, or because it will echo. Because
you can wait until you get on before you turn the YouTube off, so you won't. You know what I mean? So you won't lose us. Just cut the YouTube off before you start talking to us.
Right, because it'll have you can't be on both platforms. You'll be on StreamYard, but you won't be able to be on YouTube at the same time. And then you'll be able to see the chat and everything. Once you're on StreamYard, you'll be able to pull it all up. Okay. Let's see if I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you, Ann. And like I said, we can walk you through it. I wanted to say hello to everybody here real quick while she's doing that. I wanted to say, okay, of course, welcome Ann and Cormac and Crystal and Charity and Susan Marie and Betsy, little one, Danny. Let's see, Stupid, Rage Against the Machine, Megan, Think for Yourself, Fear No Man. Let's see here. But yeah, welcome everybody. Wendy, I don't know if I said Wendy, I might have. Cormac, everybody. Love you guys, and so glad that you're here with us. So, and Suspicious Guys, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So we're just going to see if we can get her on here. It's really, it's not, it can be intimidating if you've never been in the backstage on StreamYard, but once you learn it, it's pretty simple. So, but yeah, we're going to, if we can get her up here, we want, we want to hear all of this coming from her, and we're pretty excited about it. We've been trying to get a hold of her for a couple weeks now.
She's got a lot to tell.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. She was living it firsthand. She's living it firsthand right now, so I digress.
I think she just got her power back like a week ago.
Yeah.
You like that?
And
Michelle?
that storm was back on September 27th. It was on my birthday.
Yep.
That Michelle forgot.
You didn't say
I'm
anything.
sorry. I'm sorry.
But it's crazy because Maui, what happened to Maui happened on my birthday, and then this Hurricane Helene happened on Chuck's birthday. I thought that was pretty crazy. So.
Well, happy birthday, Chuck.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday. Thank you.
How old are you?
41.
65? I'm just kidding.
So
Oh,
Chuck,
wow.
you're out driving. Where are you driving at right now?
I'm in Marietta, Georgia.
Georgia. Are you having any redirects of traffic? Are you having to take alternate routes because of this hurricane?
They did for a while. There were a bunch of trees down and stuff, but it's pretty much back to normal now. But yeah, I'm in my big truck today driving. So
now, do
anyway,
you know anyone that has directly been hit, or like their home was damaged or anything like that in that area?
No, I don't know anybody. Just Ann, and that's about it.
So I'm figuring she's still.
You think about how crazy that is for a system to hit over 500 miles away. I mean, here in Missouri, we're not 500 miles away from the Gulf Coast. I mean, theoretically, we could be hit by one of these superstorms. You know, it's just kind of sobering to think about it. The reality of what actually happened. It's insane.
Yeah, and people talk about getting ready and being ready. There's never been a hurricane that went 500 miles inland. Never.
And in the mountains. So there was a lot of help. There was a lot of help to that devastation, as we've discussed it before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Little one says, Michelle, Dub, Brian, Chuck, and Kipp, and everyone in the chat, I am so grateful for you all. Much love and God bless. Chuck, happy belated birthday. You know what? We feel the same way to you, Betsy. You know, I just love this community. Yes. We have such a tight-knit community, and I love it. I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, we're all I just love it. I love you guys being here with us every week.
A lot of good people.
For sure.
You know, there's a special closeness. We were talking about that, yesterday, but yeah, we love you guys, man. There is definitely a bond and a family, a sense of family here and belonging. So, man, we're glad you guys feel that you belong, because you do. And it's just that we appreciate you just coming and hanging out with us. I feel blessed to come and hang out with you all. So thank you.
You're more than welcome. To a good access yeah.
Yeah. I undermeant what you stood there.
Okay, good show.
Hi, Lumpy. Good to see you. James, welcome. Tarnation, welcome. Betsy, I know I read your comment, but I don't know if I said hello to you. And Just a Voice, welcome. Good to see you.
So maybe Michelle, while we're waiting, maybe a good time. I don't know. Did you want to just kind of take a couple minutes and explain the whole situation of what happened with your channel?
The fair use stuff too. Yeah.
So this is kind of what happened. Not kind of. This is what happened. So from my last live from last week, I got a copyright strike that was requested by another channel to take me down. You know, we already know YouTube doesn't need much. But they said I had a bunch of copyright strikes from the same live and way in the past. So you know, I was ready just to leave it alone. I've had many strikes on my channel through the years. I've been signed up to YouTube since 2011. I really didn't do anything until 2017. But so that's long enough for me anyway. But I had the same channel. I've been on you know, writing on skin of my teeth for many years. I mean, I've had 2 strikes. I've deleted all of my videos before because I was afraid they were going to take me. You know, that was a long time ago. But you know, if they want to take you down, they're going to take you down. So I never fought any of my strikes. I never cared about any of that. I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm not going to fight it. A lot of people do, and sometimes they win it. Sometimes they don't. Most of the time, I hear people don't. So she said, having trouble with passwords. So is it making you sign in, Anne?
It's probably making her sign in on her Google account, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a way to bypass that. Like I said, I haven't been having to put a password in lately. I don't understand why it does sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't.
Is Google your default browser?
Well, Google's YouTube. Google's connected to YouTube, so you got to go through Google.
That's good one, Dub, because so Anne, if your browser is not Chrome or Google, you're going to have to go through Google to get on because they're all related, right?
Googly.
And it will make you link your YouTube account with StreamYard or however. That's what it will make you do.
And ironically, that's kind of what my video is about, is who runs the world, that unlisted video. You know, who owns Google, and who censors all these platforms, you know. It's a pretty small world up there at the big top.
Can I suggest an idea that I've had this happen before? I don't know if it was our channel, Michelle, but someone couldn't get on. And if, like I said, if anybody has a phone, like if you have an extra phone, Ann could call your phone and you could put it on speaker. And that was how we did it one time. Wasn't that on this channel that we did it like that one time?
I think it was a suggestion, but I don't think we ever did it.
I don't think so.
But that could be.
That's easy for her. You know, I think maybe it was somebody that didn't know anything about technology. It might have been Ron, but I think we did do a speaker, and because you can hear just as good. Just put her. All she got to do is just call you and just talk on the phone, and you can just let the speaker go through the microphone.
Yeah, we can do that too, but let's.
Yeah, if she can. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying if she can.
Yeah, if she can, because I really want to hear from her.
Gotcha.
So I'll just continue on. I don't want to make a short story long. So when I got my YouTube email saying this is the channel that requested you to go away, it left their email. And they said if the person that requested you to take you down, if they retract it, we'll bring you back up. Well, you know, I I emailed him, not because I was like, I had intentions on getting my channel back. I just emailed him to let him know the impact he had on my channel. So I told him, I said, you're a huge channel. I was just trying to get the word out about the devastation of a hurricane, and played your footage. Didn't know it was copyrighted. And I said, and so, you know, this is what happened. My channel got taken down because you struck me. And I'm a very small channel, and my small channel cannot hurt your big channel. And we're supposed to be all working together in this. And I said, all we're trying to do is get out the news to the world. And, you know, I said, this world is very messed up. And if this is the way it's going to be, this is why it's messed up. So, and I didn't even, you know, and I sent him that email. I didn't ask him to take off the strike. I didn't ask him to do any of that. I just wanted him to know the impact he had on my channel, you know, so I could have the final word, basically. And no, he didn't. He did. No. So anyway, I did have Danny. Danny. I guess I sent him maybe the email, and Danny did go to the channel and commented on the channel and told him what he had done. But you know, and I'm thankful for Danny just, you know, trying to do that. But anyway, so I went back and looked at my emails, didn't even think about him responding. And he said, tell me what the URL is, because we had 25 copyright strikes going out, and I don't know which one you are. So I just sent him the whole YouTube email that was to me. And he says, I will retract the strike, but don't ever use my content again. And when I read that email, this is all within seconds. That email, as soon as he said he retracted it, I looked at YouTube and my channel was back up. That's how quick it was. So I'm very thankful and grateful to have that. But at the same time, you know, he was a jerk about it. And I'm not going to say the channel because I don't think that's cool. But, you know, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. But, you know how people are.
Hey, explain real quick how technically you were in the right through the fair use news reporting. I mean, it's your right. There's a constitutional right for what you did, where you weren't really violating anything.
Right. But you know, if somebody's monetized and they're got a huge channel and they're so worried about someone using their, you know, that's just, they don't have good intentions if they're going to sit there and worry about a 900 sub channel next to his 100,000 sub channel.
It was about a disaster too. Think about it. Oh, well, we're sitting here trying to get the word out about this disaster, and he's worried about copyrights.
Yeah.
And if I had good comment, I'd like for people to push it as far as they could push it.
Exactly.
And that's all we were trying to do was, you know, expose the devastation of the hurricane. And so we were getting footage off, you know, the YouTube. But yeah. So like I said, I'm very thankful that he did, you know, take it off. But like I said, I never begged him. I never asked him to take it off. That wasn't my intentions, because I just wanted him to know what he did. And that's it.
And Michelle, and long story short, like to Chuck's point, the point is, you did nothing wrong by showing that footage under fair use. You did not break any fair use rules.
Exactly.
Right.
They took that strike was not, it was wrong. It had no foundation. And if he would not have taken it down, removed the strike, then like we said, you would have had to go to court. You could have fought it.
You would have won.
But who does that? Right.
Yeah,
you
who
would have
does
won,
that?
But who can do that? Right. But it was not, you didn't do anything wrong. What you are doing, what you're showing falls under fair use. But it doesn't matter. They'll take it down and say you violated A, B, C, and D.
Right.
And when you didn't,
Exactly.
but who can fight it? You know, and that's the point Chuck was making earlier.
Right.
If we were pushing like the trans agenda, are some bull crap, you know what I mean, then YouTube wouldn't do it. You know, because it's the content that we put out, we have a target on our backs. All of us do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Are you there, Brian or Greta? Or
Greta's here.
Greta Musk.
Greta's in the background smelling her armpits. She's not fresh.
She's not
blah, blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah. That's all you ever say.
Yeah, climate
How
change.
dare you?
How dare you?
Polarization Nation Media,
How
I put in
dare
the
you.
comment section. You know, a bunch of years ago, another person supposedly putting out the truth. I got a strike from him from sharing his content. And this guy was huge into that Back to the Future 9/11 stuff, you know, and people were watching his stuff and he was getting promoted a little bit. But yeah, I shared one of his videos one day. It was a legit video. I forget what it even was now, but whatever it was. And then I ended up getting a strike over it, and he was a complaint. That's who complained about it.
I like that last video you just did, talking about that channel that blew up after he showed the Trump video and whatever, just in the last few months.
Yep, it's blown up big time.
Yeah, I would like to show that video too. I thought about tabbing that up, but I didn't. I was running again today, trying to, you know, go through glitches and stuff. StreamYard did not have my account because it was wiped out, so I had to show my face or whatever, I guess.
Reinstall your account. Yep.
Reinstate my account with StreamYard. So I guess Ann is having problems because I haven't seen her respond since then. So I don't know. Maybe we should. Right? Maybe we should play your video, Kipp. And
Okay.
hi Gio, good to see you. Welcome. And play your video while we wait for her and see if we can get her on. If not, she can once she comments and lets me know what's going on, maybe we can do the phone thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, if this gets you taken down, I am so sorry.
Well, you know what? We got 33 watching. If it gets taken down, you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go. I put it in the link. Put it in the.
Still trying.
I put it in the chat for you, so I'll go ahead and.
I've got it. I've got it tabbed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's already tabbed up. So, Ann says it doesn't recognize my new phone. Still trying. So you don't have your laptop, Ann? Or maybe she doesn't have Wi-Fi. You know, because you need Wi-Fi to run. I don't know. I'm just trying to guess. Because she got a new phone. It didn't recognize her account. So then she had to make another account with YouTube. And try using, hey, Ann. Try using your new account.
Yeah, do that.
Through your phone.
And it might not do the password then.
Yeah. So try your new account through your new phone, like because you made a new account, and then you can maybe that'll work.
Maybe you remember the password because you had to use it to make the account, don't you? When you do a new account? Yeah.
But we'll wait all night. It does tell me when you come backstage. If you have any questions, Ann, we'll have Rage, Geo, Chuck, Michelle, Dub, Suspicious, Brian, Hugs. Okay. Huggies. So yeah, we can go ahead and play this video while we're waiting to see if we can get Ann on. If not Ann, we can always do it by phone. I really hate to do it that way, but I would rather hear from you than not.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we can do whatever we can to get you on here and figure it out.
Don't stress out. Don't stress out. It'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. With that in mind, now we're off the 33. Now we're on 34. Okay. my phone over here. Make sure I haven't even pulled up. Not even ready. Can you guys see my screen?
I can see it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, we got an echo. Have an
Yeah.
echo. Let's see. All right, here we go, guys.
Let the initiation begin. All stonecutters must take the leap of faith. If you survive this 5-story plunge, your character will be proven. Happy landings!
I think I have to do it again. My blindfold gets off. And by the sacred parchment, I swear that if I reveal the secret to the stonecutters, may my stomach become bloated and my head be plucked of all but 3 hairs.
I think you should have to take a different oath.
Everyone takes the same oath. Welcome to the club number 908. You have joined the sacred order of the stonecutters, who since ancient times have split the rocks of ignorance that obscure the light of knowledge and truth. Now let's all get drunk and play ping pong.
Pure energy. Pure energy.
What is BlackRock and how do they own everything?
Yeah, so BlackRock is an organization, it's a company publicly listed on NASDAQ that has tens of trillions of dollars of assets under management. They disclose that they have like 14 trillion, but that is only BlackRock. Then they own majority share in most of the companies in America, right? So they also have money and funneled through all those things as well. So what companies? They own Pfizer, they own Moderna, they own all the airlines, they own all the social networks. So when you see all this stuff, all this agenda, kind of everybody working together, then you have to realize who actually owns it. This isn't a conspiracy. You go to Yahoo Finance, you go to top holders of all these shareholding companies, and you see BlackRock and Vanguard at the top. So you go to Amazon, for example, you go to Yahoo Finance, you go to Amazon, you go to the ticker of the stock, you go to top holders, and you realize Jeff Bezos ain't the biggest holder of Amazon. It's like, oh shit, he's no longer the majority shareholder of his company, so he doesn't make the final decisions, so he doesn't have the big say.
What? 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 That's fine. God's gonna sort that out. It's not a problem.
They don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it.
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians. You can take this big ton of money, and then you can start to buy people. I work for a company called BlackRock.
Meet Serge Varley, a recruiter at BlackRock.
Let me tell you, it's not who's the president. It's who's controlling the wallet. So it's
And who's that?
The hedge funds, BlackRock, the banks. These guys want campaign financing. Yep, you can buy your candidates. Obviously, we have the system in place.
Hey, Michelle, pause that when you get a second.
You got 10 grand, you can buy something. I can give you 500K right now. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I didn't do this. We're done.
Just like everybody.
Michelle, pause it.
Not do
There
that.
you go.
It doesn't matter who wins.
You're so right.
Yeah, so part of me on this says, how can someone be so oblivious if they're not aware that they're being recorded? But I know narcissists that it doesn't even cross their mind that they're being set up. They're just so enthralled with someone that's just doting on every word they're saying. So I'm not sure. This could, I don't know what, I don't know if this is a setup, if it's staged or what, but I do believe it could actually be a legit setup and he's just unaware, but I'm just not sure. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Is this the Project Veritas, Kipp?
I don't know. I'm not sure, Chuck. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't hear you if you're talking, Michelle.
Of course not, because I muted.
There you go.
No, it kind of looks like it. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
Looks like what? Staged?
No, Project Veritas.
Oh, yeah, it could be. I'm not familiar with it. I've not seen it, but there's an announcer. You'll recognize it here if it is. But I apologize. I do not know.
They're my pocket.
Here's Serge Varley on how good war is for BlackRock's business.
Do you have any thoughts on the Ukraine-Russia war?
Yeah, I mean, I do have thoughts.
What are they?
Ukraine is good for business. You know, right? I'll give an example. Russia blows up Ukraine's grain surplus. The price of wheat's going to go mad up. Ukrainian economy is tied very largely to the wheat market, global wheat market. Prices of bread, literally everything goes up and down. This is fantastic if you're trading. Volatility creates opportunity to make profit. War is real good for business. It's exciting when goes wrong, right? BlackRock manages 20 trillion. It's incomprehensible numbers.
BlackRock Serge Varley says all of this is above a normal person's understanding.
You're like an undercover reporter. No people don't give a shit. This is beyond them. The whole thing of like domination from a concept is it's so interesting.
Hi, I'm James O'Keefe with OMG News. Here we are with our latest story, this time on BlackRock, one of the world's leading asset and investment managers, which owns significant shares of companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Anheuser-Busch, Meta, Target, Procter & Gamble, Comcast, CNN, Fox, and yes, Pfizer, just to name a few. At OMG, we do not shy away from exposing powerful companies, and we're not afraid of powerful people. So we decided to take a look for ourselves at the influence BlackRock has on our politics and the influence they have on our culture. So to do that, what better place to start a hidden camera investigation than into a self-described gatekeeper at BlackRock?
Like, you're kind of like a fucking gatekeeper at BlackRock.
Yeah, I am. I decide people's fates. Every fucking day, I literally decide how somebody's life is going to be shaped.
That's so powerful. I love it.
Yeah, it's I don't know, the whole thing of like domination from a concept is it's so interesting.
Introducing Serge Varley, whose LinkedIn says he's worked for Morgan Stanley, Citadel, and now as a recruiter at BlackRock.
I work for a company called BlackRock. I'm not actually a finance guy. I know what happens because I'm recruiting people who do these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person who headhunts people from other firms. So I would approach you and be like, hey, this is a good reason why you should come work for us.
Serge tells us who really runs the world, how they do it, and just how much it costs to buy people, like politicians.
Let me tell you, it's not through who's the president. It's who's controlling the wallet. So it's
And who's that?
The hedge funds, BlackRock, the banks. These guys run campaign financing. Yep, you can buy your candidates.
How so?
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians.
How do they run the world?
You acquire stuff. You diversify, you acquire, you keep acquiring, you spend whatever you make in acquiring more. And at a certain point, your risk level is super low. Like, imagine you've invested in like 10 different industries, from food to to drinks to like technology, right? One of them fails, it doesn't matter. You have 9 others to back you up. Risk management is inherently in just about everything, and in the finance space, it's all about it's all about the money you make. You don't let it sit. Like you keep using it over and over, and
Reinvest.
Yeah, and it exponential growth.
And then once you just own a little bit of everything, is that where the control?
Yeah, you own a little bit of everything, and that little bit of everything gives you so much money on a yearly basis that you can take this big ton of money, and then you can start to buy people. Obviously, we have this system in place. First, there's the Senate space, and these guys are cheap. You got 10 grand, you can buy a Senate. It doesn't matter who wins.
You're still right.
They're in my pocket. I can give you $500K right now. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I didn't do what needs to be done. They're like, yeah, of course.
And
why not?
does like everybody do that? Does BlackRock do that?
The BlackRock recruiter also tells us about how the U.S. government relies on BlackRock for their economic simulation computational power.
I just kind of wanted to stop it right there. Look at his hands.
Yeah. It's the OMG network.
Yeah.
So.
Very good.
Good catch. Good catch, Michelle.
Dub's actually the one that caught it.
Good catch, Dub.
Economic simulation. They need to understand the impact of something. Right? They're gonna raise the interest rate, for example. It's gonna create this cascade of various factors that people they're not sure what it's gonna do, basically.
And just how fucking great the Ukraine war is for business.
Do you have any thoughts on the Ukraine-Russia war?
Ukraine is good for business. You know, right? We don't want the conflict to end.
What?
We don't want the conflict to end as a country. The longer this goes on, the weaker Russia is. I'll give an example. Russia blows up Ukraine's grain surplus. The price of wheat's going to go mad up. So what are you going to do if you're a trading firm? The moment that news hits, within a millisecond, you're going to pump trades into whoever the wheat suppliers are, into their stocks. Within an hour or two, that stock goes up, and then you sell, and you just made, I don't know, however many mil.
Why would a news channel promote a side in war?
Because it's also good for business. I mean, what's news? News, right? What does news feed on? They feed on strategy. They feed on up events. That's what people like to watch. So when it happens, it's good business. More viewers. When nothing's happening, watch the news. I don't watch news.
They're all pitching like the same talking point. Like you generally, when you look at news, like
it's propaganda. The Ukrainian economy is tied very largely to the wheat market, global wheat market. This is fantastic if you're trading. Volatility creates opportunity to make profit. War is real good for business. It's exciting when goes wrong, right?
Serge also speaks on BlackRock-influenced news and even gave our journalists some tips.
based on everything we know now, when they say to sell, does that mean we should buy?
And so, yeah, it's like Jim Cramer. If you do exactly the opposite of what he's advising, you actually make money.
Huh?
Yeah. It's called the inverse Cramer. They don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it.
Anyone that got in mind to be right, you got to surrender. Oh, yes. You got to come out the Masonic Hall. Come out. Come out. Come out. Prestige ain't worth trash. No. To be a Mason, go ahead. Get it off. You got to roll up one pants leg, tear the shirt over your heart, and they bring you in the room with a bunch of fools. Yeah. They tell you got to bring food to feed a goat, and ain't no goat to feed. Yeah. Blindfold you. Then a bunch of men making a bunch of noise and hitting you. First they put marbles out. White marbles and a black marble. Get a black marble, you're blackballed.
Right.
Can't be one. Get white marbles, you can be one. You get at a certain level of masonry, you get rid of the Bible.
My Lord.
And pick up the Quran.
My Lord.
You got to take a vow of secrecy. That you never expose the craft. And if you expose the craft, you agree to have your tongue cut out or snatched out and your heart cut out.
My Lord.
I expose all the craft I want.
Expose the craft.
I dare you to lay a hand on me.
That's right.
I dare you to do it, and I want you to do it.
That's right.
I'm a very easy man to find.
Amen.
You see, I'm a real Mason.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
It ain't got nothing to do with Herman.
No.
It ain't got nothing to do with some cheap lion's paw.
No, no.
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 I'm a real Mason.
That's right.
This is too deep for the Masonic Hall.
It's too deep for them.
Every true man of God is a real Mason.
That's right.
He's a craftsman.
Craftsman.
He's a layer of divine brick.
That's right.
He worked for a master builder.
Go ahead.
For the book says one is your master.
One is your master.
Even Christ.
That's right.
Peter called the church and said, you as lively stones.
That's right. Built
so
up.
The preacher are given tools.
Yes.
He given a hammer that breaks rocks in pieces.
Oh, yeah.
His wisdom is a divine chisel.
Go ahead.
That cut and carves women and shape men.
Go ahead.
To be the people of God.
That's it. Go ahead.
He used a plumb line.
Go ahead.
In the midst of his building.
Go ahead, brother.
God is his architect.
That's right.
This is bigger than Solomon's temple.
Oh, yes.
Solomon's temple fell apart.
That's right.
God's temple is eternal.
That's right. In the heavens. Go ahead, brother.
I'm a divine mason.
Oh, yes.
I'm a divine builder. I was given an axe. And God says, laid at the roots.
Laid at the roots.
I was given a hammer.
Yeah.
Break rocks in pieces, meaning it breaks the stubborn of the world.
That's right.
Breaks your stubborn mind.
That's it.
You see, you got to fall on this stone.
Yes.
Which would mean submit the hardness.
That's it.
Submit the discipline. Submit the rough preaching.
Rough preaching.
Then you'll be broken.
That's right.
But if you fall on the stone, or the stone fall on you,
grind you to
it's going to grind you to powder.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
So Masons don't know what the Masonic is.
No.
You talk about a scale, a compass. Do you know what direction God come from?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
God said, I come from Teman. How can he come from somewhere where he is everywhere?
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
He said, God come from Teman.
Go ahead.
The Holy One.
From Mount Paran.
From Mount Paran.
Yeah.
From his mouth cometh a two-edged sword.
That's right.
And his eyes
Go ahead.
is as a flame of fire. From his hands
Go ahead.
goeth forth horns.
Go ahead.
And when he walk upon the waters.
Go ahead.
You think a Mason is wearing white gloves?
White gloves.
And a little miniaturized apron?
That's right.
You don't know what it is.
No.
A Mason is a divine man of God.
That's it.
Who's given tools from heaven.
That's right.
That cut and shape the hearts of the world.
That's right.
And build a people
Go ahead.
for God.
Amen. Go ahead.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
A lion's paw? Nah.
Oh, no.
It's the lion
Go ahead.
of the tribe
Judah.
of Judah.
Oh, yes.
And the root of David.
That's it. That's it. Go
You
ahead.
building on Solomon? That's weak.
That's weak.
One that is written, the scripture says, one greater than Solomon
is here.
Is here.
That's right.
Solomon ain't no good.
Oh, no.
One greater than Solomon.
It's here.
Masonry I'm a divine masonry.
Every house is built by some man.
Do you hear this?
In Hebrews chapter 3 and at verse 4.
Oh, this is so sweet.
Every house is built by some man.
Is built by some man.
But he that built all things.
He that built everything
is God.
No, it's Solomon.
Is God.
Herman Mabliff
is God. Amen.
Our God is God.
That's right. That's right.
So Solomon was limited.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, he ran out of his wits.
Yes, he did.
For women.
For women.
Solomon, before he died, his heart turned against God.
Turned against God.
And he became polytheistic.
Yes, he did.
An idolater.
That's right.
The true architect, the true designer of people is God.
It's God. That's right.
So all these lodges and all that stuff won't prevail.
No.
You throw on black suits, white shirt, and black tie and feel important. But then you die.
That's
and a bunch of men come in marching.
That's right.
Just marching. Looking like a bunch of stooges.
That's right. What is that? That's right.
Huh?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
March forward and slide back. Everybody's doing the curly.
That's right.
And then they ring a little bell over you.
Yeah.
Say a few words.
They say some words.
But you died without God.
Yes. Lord.
Then they have a cornerstone there.
Mm-hmm.
The chief cornerstone is God.
God. That's right.
That little big rock on the ground.
Amen.
David said, who is the rock?
Mm-hmm.
Saving our God.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says the rock that followed them.
Mm-hmm. Christ.
That's Christ.
That's Christ.
Do you get what I'm telling you?
Go ahead.
There is a way.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
Brothers and sisters, get out the seem right way.
Seem right.
Know what you're doing.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to question your preacher. Performing that morning. When he go to his office, Reverend Lucifer, please show us in the Bible.
Please show us.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Question your teaching.
That's right.
One of the biggest lies is the belief I'm going to heaven anyhow. You lost your mind.
Yeah.
I want to be an American idiot. Don't want a nation under the new mania. And can you hear the sound of hysteria? The subliminal mind fuck America. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation, where everything is going to be okay. Television dreams of tomorrow. We're not the ones who need to follow. Oh, that's enough to argue.
Okay. So Chuck has dropped out. He's loading. He's working. So he's loading his trailer right now. And then he lost service. So it's gonna take him about 35 minutes, he says. We'll see. But he'll be back. So I saw the aunt, they're just not letting her get on. She's struggling trying to get on. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her my phone number. And I know all of you guys here, please don't call me. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm teasing. That way, we'll get her on the phone and I'll do it this way. I hope there's no echoing. You guys will have to let us know. But I'm gonna don't all call me at once. I'm just kidding. Let me do this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the chat. Yeah.
Go. It is frustrating. I can remember when I first started trying to get on StreamYard, I had some very similar issues, you know.
Once you have it in, please let me know and I'm going to delete it. Yeah. You know, at this point, this is my second phone, so I'm not really worried about it. I know I should email it, but we're trying to get her on. I don't think there's any shills here or any trolls, so. All right, there she goes. So Anne's going to call us and tell us her story. I have a better speaker on this phone anyway. Nice. And yeah. So hopefully, there she is. Hi, Anne. Oh, I'm so sorry. You turn that off. We're going to turn off the air conditioning in here real quick so we can get you all the way.
Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and mute here.
All right. So, everybody, this is Ann C. And
hi, everybody.
If you guys can hear her, please let me know if you guys can hear this well. I need audio check.
Yeah, I hear you.
I heard her good.
Good go. Everybody in the chat, give me a 1 if you can hear her well.
Hello, everybody.
1.
1. Okay. So, well, welcome, Ann. We've been really worried about you for a long time, for a few weeks when this all happened. And because, you know, of course, Chuck is like, she lives in Nashville. And we're like, oh my gosh, you know, and we hadn't seen or heard from you. And so we were really worried about you. And so we're going to put you on here to tell us your story. Tell us what happened. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you see. You just lay it all down.
Okay. Well, for one thing, the media, because I was listening to the radio in my car while all this going on, they give half truths. It's half.
Absolutely.
What it is they didn't tell the real devastation. Asheville and surrounding areas are destroyed, literally destroyed. Where I live in Fairview, and it's outside of Asheville. I live between Chimney Rock and Asheville, like right in the middle.
Right.
Now, where I live, it's like an earthquake. The roads are crumbled. One of the roads, there's a big square, like something hit it, and it's completely black. There's not even any dirt underneath it. So I don't even know if we're going to fix that one. And then I went on a road and it actually buckled up on me and my car was sideways. I was trying to get to the store and this cop was right there looking at me like, oh my God. But the roads are all buckled up and everything. Chimney Rock looks like it was bombed. Literally bombed. And the only way to get up Chimney Rock now is by mule and horse.
Wow.
Now, when this all, I should start it how it all happened. Okay. On the 26th, it started to rain. And let me explain first. Asheville has unpredicted weather. all the time. We go from one extreme to the other. So, you know, that hurricane coming here, who could ever believe that? Because our weather's always been like that. And we had real heavy rain, but it wasn't that windy. It was only a couple wind bursts, but I'm letting the dog out. She started carrying on as soon as I started talking. But so that wasn't the problem. And I don't believe it was an extraordinary amount of rain. I think it might have been 12 inches or 14. But it smelled like sulfur. My clothes smelled like sulfur because I had to rinse a few things out and hang them on my fence. And the odor was unbelievable of sulfur. Now that's geoengineering. What they do is they put sulfur in the air. So I can't even drink my well water now because it's sulfur. So they did have a hand in it. The way the media lied is because they made it sound like, oh, neighbors are helping neighbors. You know, this person is doing that for someone, and that person is doing this for somebody. That is a lie. People acted so wickedly during the whole thing. In fact, my neighbors did four-wheeling and all that stuff the first day, and then the other times they disappeared. They said, my neighbors said, well, tell us if you need anything, and then you never hear from them again because they're hiding out. They don't want you to ask them.
Nice.
So that was a total lie. That I didn't see it. I didn't see neighbors helping neighbors and being all nice and all that stuff. And they did not tell about the people in the trees. The linemen are horrified because those visions, they can't get out of their head. Now, what would cause several people to be in trees dead? One baby was in a tree and a bear was eating that baby. Now that lineman is in serious problems seeing that because they can't get over it. But a bear was actually eating a baby in a tree.
Wow.
So see, they did not, the only way that that could happen is an explosion. And then the media actually said that it looked like Western North Carolina was bombed. And it was. They did tell the truth about that. But they made it look like, you know, oh, it just looks that way.
So, Ann, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead. There's been some people that have come in. If anybody's seen my notification, this is Ann C. We've known her she's been around YouTube for a long time. She's been a part of our community, and she lives in Asheville or a little outside of Asheville. But so she's telling her story. She's telling her story on the devastation and what she's seen, what she's going through, so she is our special guest tonight. And I think it's very important because we're getting it directly from somebody that is a big part of our community. And so I'm so very thankful, Ann, that you're here with us. I don't want to take too much more time with my voice. I want to hear your voice. But we might have some questions for you. So please, on the panel, if you have any questions, or anybody in the chat, maybe if you want to put a question for Ann, I can go ahead and let her know and have her answered if you have a question. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I just got my power back Friday. The National Guard didn't show up for 12 days. So I want to explain to everybody. Everyone needs to be prepared because they're saying Asheville had a hurricane hit. That's not true. That I lived in Florida for 20 years. I went to Florida when I was a teenager. And I stayed there for 20 years. I was in every natural disaster you can think of. Tornadoes, hurricanes, everything. And nothing can compare to this. We are being attacked. And what it is Chimney Rock has lithium. Chimney Rock, that's where the last of the Mohicans was made. Also Dirty Dancing. That was filmed in Lake Lure. Lake Lure has a dam right there. Well, Chimney Rock in Lake Lure is untouched. It's pristine. It's the Western North Carolina, there's parts here that are the most beautiful landscapes that you'll ever want to see. Chimney Rock is one of those. Okay, they have a lithium. They want to dig for that lithium and get that out. They also, what it is, they've been trying to buy my property, and I don't answer them. And whenever they put these HOA communities in, people usually take them to court because we don't want that. We don't want their modernized HOA communities. We want to live free. Well, I think they got sick and tired of people taking them to court. So then they decided to bomb us and get the land that way. And I'm trying to tell people in Chimney Rock, do not sell your property. I mean, everybody needs to get together, rebuild, and stay put.
Go ahead, Kipp.
I've got a question. Yeah. So you mentioned something there, and it's kind of like I'm having an oh wow moment. Because last week, Michelle showed a video and the lady was talking about all of her property now is sand and it's all that lithium. I mean, it's just putting two and two together and thinking, what you're saying and about the explosions. And it seems like they've also freed up a lot of that lithium as well, possibly in that scenario.
Yeah, I think it's several things combined. I think they want to put condos up and HOA communities, and then of course they want to dig for the lithium. And of course we have a lot of gems, we have a lot of metals. So it's not only lithium, it's other things too, because if you look at Chimney Rock, you can see it's untouched. It's always been untouched. And so if they're digging, if they start mining in those places, they're going to find all kind of stuff.
Okay, so the question I have about Chimney Rock. So in the video that I did welcoming back Michelle's channel and kind of announcing that you might be on this live, I don't know if you saw it, but there was one picture I showed in there, and it said Chimney Rock, and it had Adventure Golf on there, and it looked like it was a war zone. Was that not Chimney Rock?
Yeah, Chimney Rock looks like it was bombed. The building,
okay.
You can't get up there because you have to use a horse or a mule because there's nothing but rocks in the road. In other words, it's not passable at all because it looks like someone put a bomb there and blew everything up. That's what it looks like. That's what Chimney Rock looks like. Now, where I live, it looks like an earthquake. Because of major roads. In fact, the neighbors told me the 16 trees just pulled out of the ground within a matter of seconds. And they were healthy trees. The tree that fell in my yard was a very healthy young tree. So it wasn't old trees that were ready to go anyway.
real quick, Ann, let me ask you this question. Do you think that dams were broken?
Yeah. We are told we can't get up there because they're saying if we could get up to the dams and we could get evidence, that would be evidence. But see, what they did is when all this started, they took our communication
right
down completely. You couldn't get AT&T, you couldn't get Verizon, you couldn't get anything. And they did that purposely because they knew that we'd be up there trying to find out what the heck is going on.
Right.
Because I'm not a coward.
Right.
In fact, I'm pretty macho for a woman. I am. I've always been that way, and I've always been a fighter.
Right.
And I would have been up there trying to find out what the heck is going on. But they took our communication, they took our power, our electricity. So they took away our ability to help anybody.
Or to do anything.
Or to do anything. Because I've got 2 vehicles. They're old, but I do have 2 vehicles. I could have taken one of those vehicles and helped people and done things. And trailer parks, a lot of Hispanics live in trailer parks. Well, those are gone. Completely gone. We have so many homeless that are living at a school. A lot of children die.
Wow.
A lot of children. It looks like to me, you see where I live, I'm not rich or anything, I'm from on the poor side, but the people around me are very wealthy. So they don't hit those places. See, but they hit the places where the poor people live. Because they want those trailer parks out. And I noticed that every place that now Jiminy Rock is different because they want the lithium. So that's what I mean. It's like there's different facets to this whole thing. Like if you look at Masons, they have all these different facets. Everything is controlled by Masons. Everything. Yep. It's just like with this attack. There's different facets to it. It's almost like let's what's that bird thing they always say? Let's kill a stone killing 2 birds at one time. I can't remember how it goes. But anyway, they tried to take care of several problems at one time. Because they want the land, they want HOAs, they want the minerals, lithium, and all that stuff in Chimney Rock. So there's different. They want the poor people out. Of course, they want the Hispanics that live in trailer parks, where they want them out. So they thought they were going to do all these things at once. So that's where you're seeing earthquake, bombing, flooding. See, you're seeing all these things together. And with the sulfur, they put that in the air, in the stratosphere, the sulfur. So that's how they can change the weather. Well, but anybody in their right mind knows a hurricane did not hit here. We always have the after effects of hurricanes, where it's just rain and maybe mudslides or something like that.
Right.
Like everybody has.
Right.
But this was not.
Real quick.
This was not done by a hurricane.
Right. Real quick. So real quick, we got a little echo going. So do you have your YouTube up?
No, it wouldn't. My computer, they made my computer so slow that I can't even get anything on it. I even messaged you on the comment section, and it wouldn't even go through.
Yeah. So you don't.
They've been doing this stuff to me for a long time, so.
So you don't have any of the live up or anything anywhere else. You're just on the phone talking to me.
Yeah, I'm just on the phone.
It might.
I think she's just. I think we're being. I think it's actually an attack. I do. I really think it's just this stream is being attacked.
I wanted to ask you. So they took. So did the phone service go out before the electricity? That's what I've been hearing. We don't know. But is that what you experienced?
I experienced everything down at one time. And they said there was a lot of wind and all that stuff. Well, I have a fan that's in the bathroom. Every time it's windy, that thing goes off real loud. Well, it only went off like 2 times. So we didn't have much wind. So they can't blame it on that. We did have a lot of rain, but Asheville gets a lot of rain.
Right.
I mean, it really wasn't that much different than we normally get.
And then what? I'm sorry, babe. I don't mean to interrupt you, but in Florida, where it touched down, it was over 500 miles away from you, and that's where you have to think. There's no way a hurricane is going to have that much effect 500 miles away. There's just no way.
There's no way. It's impossible. And people have to realize that the truth is hitting us in the face, and we better see it. Because I can tell you, when there's an emergency, unless you have family or you have close friends, you are on your own.
See, so
completely on your own. Your neighbors will turn against you on a dime.
Wow.
And
so there's a
truth.
Go ahead.
So yeah, just I've got a couple questions. Because the media, of course, they're pushing out, just like we showed last week, neighbor helping neighbor. But what you're saying is it's every man for himself. My other questions are your neighbors awake? Do they believe that it was from a hurricane, and like you do, or are they asleep? And is there any significant help or organization for the people that are affected by this yet?
Most people in Asheville are asleep. My neighbors are asleep. There's only one neighbor that I met when I came here 10 years ago from Franklin, because I used to live in Franklin, North Carolina. He was the only one that was awake. People are like zombies here.
Wow.
Nothing computes. Just like, okay, there was a lot of chemtrails one day. I mean, the skies were loaded. And it was it was right in front of your face. This guy that was helping me, he was, wanted to roll the cart, and take my groceries out to the thing. Well, I said, "Don't you see the chemtrails up there?" And he goes, "Oh no, I don't see anything." Yeah.
Wild. Yes, you're breaking up now. I can't hear anything.
Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if it's almost like he told her, "I feel sorry for you, Michelle."
Real quick, I'm having other people come in, so I do want to explain to them what this interview is all about. So our good friend Ann C. lives outside of Asheville, and so she went through the devastation. She's there. She's living it. So we have been trying to get a hold of her to so we can get her to tell her story. So this is what this live is about. So everybody, we can get it firsthand. She's very much awake, and we really much appreciate that. She's been around for years, but I just wanted to give all the people that are popping in, I wanted them to give them a heads up to what we're talking about, so that they understand. I did want to say hello to KK Mike. Welcome, KK. I haven't seen you in such a long time. I hope you're doing well, brother. Mike Smith. Let me just welcome everybody in. But yeah, I just wanted everybody to know what we're talking about and how important this interview is. So we're doing it on the phone because she couldn't get on the StreamYard. So please bear with us. But continue on, Ann. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, when this all started, of course, we had no communication and all that stuff. Well, my daughter had to go through all kinds of rubble to even get to me, and I'll never forget her face when she saw me. She didn't know if I was dead or alive, but I don't know. She went through those roads like she did. I don't know to this day. And I know the angel had picked her up and brought her here with that car because I don't know how she did it. Because the roads are all tore up.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I mean, all tore, all buckled. I mean, you know, like I said, when I was driving, trying to get, get water and all that stuff, my car actually went on its side. The road was so buckled up.
Oh my gosh.
That's everywhere.
Wow.
It's everywhere. I don't know how she got to me. But when
So your daughter, your daughter is out during all of this. Your daughter is out because she doesn't know if you're alive, and she's looking for you during this.
She was, yeah.
Wow.
She lives 7 miles from here. Now she lives in an apartment, so it wasn't hit because it's an expensive apartment, and so that apartment building was not hit.
Wow.
But she went to look for me. Yeah, I mean, what she had to go through, I'll never forget.
You said she lived 7 miles. She lives about 7 miles from you.
Yeah.
And so she was fortunate not to get hit, but she went looking for you, and you don't know how she got there, but she found you.
Yeah, she came to she pulled up, and the look on her face, I'll never forget. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure she was just.
She was terrible.
I mean, but just elated that you're alive. You know, I mean.
Yeah, and then she went to look for her ex-husband because she had heard that a tree fell on his house. And I said, Stacy, I said, please be careful, you know. So she went through all kinds of rubble trying to find him, and luckily he was okay.
Wow.
But the main important thing is water. When something you can live without electricity, you know, it's hard, but you can do it. But you have to have water. Anybody that has land, get a pump. Get a pump, because I'll tell you, we have primary water. The problem is the government wants to take our water, and they want to control it. But there's primary water everywhere, even in the desert.
Have you heard stories or any?
You know,
and have you heard any stories yet of them saying that the water is contaminated, or any hintings about that yet?
I haven't heard anything about that. Bottled water, but they're going to say that because they want the land.
Sure.
You know, nobody wants FEMA. I've been investigating FEMA for years. No one should have anything to do with them.
Ever.
They're bad. They're more than bad.
They're like DHS.
They're murderers.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing, if a FEMA guy comes to my property, I'm going to be so angry. I don't know how I'm going to control myself. I don't know how I'm going to control myself. He better not step foot on my property.
And I'm just so sorry. I mean, like, if I can only imagine, and like, your world has been turned upside down, and that kind of gets lost in all of it, you know. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, well, I was awake when I was a child because I was in a children's prison. what they call an orphanage, but it's not. It's a prison. And I that's the way my life was. I lived a prison life as a child because I was 6 years old. And of course, my roommate was murdered. That's when I first started my first gang. I was 6 years old and I started a gang because I wanted that woman dead. That killed her. You know, and and they did end up taking her away, you know, for what she did. But the thing of it is, that's how I started out. But it's actually a good thing because I can see things that other people can't see. The problem is nobody listens anymore.
They don't.
Right.
Nobody does.
You used to be able to tell people, and they would take it in and they'd say, yeah, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to really look into that. I'm going to investigate. But they don't do that no more. Those days are over. It's almost like people have made their decision and they don't want to be with Jesus Christ. They don't want that heavenly life. It's not in their heart.
Well, they don't know it. They don't. That's the whole problem with society today, is that they're causing that division to where people are not looking where they need to be looking. And you know, just like the flat earth and everything, you know, that takes God out of the equation. Therefore, you know, yeah, the Big Bang, that's why we're spinning. We're not spinning. But I just a small example. I wanted to ask you real quick. So did you have any damage to your property or anything like that?
I haven't noticed it. I have a dirt basement. I haven't been down there. There was a real big snake in front of there, so I haven't gone down there yet. I don't think so. I think they tried whatever, you know, when they use those. I noticed that Project Bluebeam isn't mentioned anymore on the computer. In fact, they kind of cover it up now. What it was in Vietnam, I wanted to explain this because I've seen a lot of documentaries and I did a lot of research on this. In Vietnam, they used what they call Bluebeam, and they would use these energy weapons. Well, first of all, the rain came, just like it did here. First of all, the rain came, and then they used the weapons, the energy weapons, because you couldn't hear them. Just like here, you couldn't hear. If there was a plane above, I wouldn't have been able to hear it. And so they use these energy weapons, and that's how they destroy the roads and houses and stuff like that. But Project Bluebeam, if you look it up on the computer, there is no information about that anymore. But that's actually the Vietnam weapons. And of course, they're very far advanced. Now, I did see a video in Mexico. They weren't supposed to show this. It was kind of by accident, but I could see the Bluebeam and they had the earthquake. And that's what was here, the earthquake. You know, everything was like an earthquake. But I could see actually the Bluebeam. And they say that that's what happened in Paradise. And that's what happened in Maui.
Absolutely. Right.
And anyone that talks about it, anyone that mentions that word Bluebeam or says that, you're immediately discounted and labeled as a conspiracy nut, and you're just an idiot.
Yeah, because they make it look like Bluebeam is actually aliens coming down and taking you to their planet. You know, it's crazy, and that's not what Project Bluebeam is. It was those weapons, those directed energy weapons.
I just wanted to come in real quick. I don't want to take your thunder away because I really want to hear everything you have to say. So there was a comment. With a person that I've known for a very long time that said he was really surprised that I was doing this because he thought that I was going to say it was fake. I'm not. All right, that was KK, which is okay, KK, because him and I had a little argument over Maui. So the whole Maui thing, we know it happened. We're not saying it didn't happen. The way it happened wasn't the way it happened. When I did that live, which got taken down, was the biggest live I've ever had, but it was taken down eventually. What I was trying to point out was that the people, how they indoctrinate everything and put out so much propaganda. That's what I was showing during the Maui live. It wasn't. It was all the actors and all the people that were showing fake videos. That was what the live was about. Correct, Dub?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if I could at this point, let me try to maybe again reinstate fake until proven real does not say everything is fake.
Right.
It says we're going to verify for ourselves what our feelings and thinking is on the situation. We don't say everything's fake, but we will look at everything that we question and determine with our own judgment which side of the fence we're on that event, whatever the event may be.
Quite often,
real quick, Dub.
quite
Hold on,
often
real
the
quick.
narrative,
Hey, hold
quite
on,
often
Kip,
the narrative is
Kip.
fake.
Hold on.
Real quick, I was just going to say, we know they're liars. You know, the media, the government, they all lie to us. Why should we ever give them the benefit of the doubt when they tell us anything? You know, so we verify. That's what it's all about right there, because that's why everybody's brainwashed and programmed, because they believe we went to the moon. They believe we evolved from monkeys. They believe the pandemic. You know what I mean? So we're going to say everything's fake. That doesn't mean everything's fake. That means we're going to prove it. It's got to be proved to us. We don't take we don't take what they're saying as fact until we prove it.
Right.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Go ahead, Kip.
Yeah.
Kip. Come on, Kip.
Where'd Kip go?
I don't know. Maybe he went to get a drink or something. Okay. So continue on, and yeah, thank you for letting us cut in. I just want to let you know, everybody in this chat is sending you much love and much prayers. Everybody is very supportive of you. I just want to let you know, since you can't see it. But yeah, everybody's rooting for you and sending you a lot of love. Okay, so I just want to let you know that.
I love everybody too. I'm basically a shy person, and when I went back to college, they said, when I did my essays, they said it's hard to you don't focus. You go from one subject to the other. So that makes me feel, well, if I start talking, I keep that in mind. I try to, keep my focus, because I've got that ADHD.
Right. So continue on with your story. I could go on for hours listening to you, so please continue on.
Yeah, carry
This
on.
is your show.
I tell you, the hyperactivity is so bad. And my daughter was hyper too. She's not so much anymore though. But yeah, the communication thing, that was really bad. My daughter bought me an AT&T phone, and it was spotty and everything, but I could still message. We could message, each other. And then I got my power back on Friday. But the communication thing, that should be, somebody should, be sued for that, because people, another thing they said on the radio, listen to this one. They said, well, there's no communication, so if you have a heart attack worrying about your loved ones, don't call 911, because we're not going to help you.
Wow.
That's what they said on the radio.
Yeah.
I could have went through there and punched that guy out.
That's why we don't rely on the government, because you know what? They're all in on it. You know, it's so crazy. Everybody, you know, you said it took 12 days for the military to get there, correct?
Yeah. 12 days.
12 days.
Wow.
Our own military. That should tell people a lot, and which we already know. But 12 days to get there?
Yeah, 12 days. And I'm in the average house price here, of course, and like I said, I'm one of the poor ones. I stick out like a but the average price for a house here is like almost $800,000.
Wow.
And it still took them 12. It still took them 12 days. They don't care if people have money or they don't anymore.
No.
You know, they want their properties. They could care less.
Hey, Ann, can I ask you a question real quick? Is the Biltmore still up?
The Biltmore house, yes, it stood. Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, you know it would.
Any type of damage. Any type. Yeah, that's haunted. That's an evil thing, and that stood.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you realize too, you know, because I'm awake, you know, I know a lot of things, and I investigate everything and all that, but you don't realize the evilness of the people.
Yeah, because
you just don't.
What the media was showing, the social media because of course we don't watch the news, but you know, we get some, you know, what the news is giving out and stuff. But the social media platform, see, they you know, they were showing what I showed last week. They were showing that it was the community that came together and that was helping everybody, and you didn't see that at all.
No.
Wow.
No, that was all fake. In fact, a lot of those YouTubers don't believe them because they're fake. The only one that I trusted is that one. I guess you showed it with that girl. She was in Spruce Pines, and she was wiping her tears away trying to talk. Now, she was right. She was the true one. But the rest of them, no, they're all fakers.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to tell you the truth. And the thing of it is, if somebody tells you that it's a hurricane, don't believe anything they say, because they're fakers.
Yeah.
They're fakers. Oh yeah, a hurricane came and it hit the mountains. Chimney Rock is right in the mountains. In fact, the mountains are so high. If you look at that movie, Last of the Mohicans,
right?
The mountains surround Chimney Rock. Here's Chimney Rock in between these huge, giant mountains.
I'd just like to say real quick, sorry, that I like the Last of the Mohicans movies, by the way. You know what I mean? Well, the one, and all the music and all the just manliness of it. But anyway, sorry. Go back to you.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. But the thing of it is how can a hurricane? I have to go 10 miles to get to Chimney Rock. I used to go there a lot. And you got to go straight up a mountain. And then after you get straight up in the mountain, there's still high mountains all around it. So there's no way that a hurricane hit here. There's no way. And that's where you know who's telling the truth or not. If somebody says, well, I don't know why Asheville and surrounding areas were destroyed. You know, I don't know. Well, that's a good answer. Because you don't know. But you know it's not a hurricane.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and the thing of it is, and then of course these people, now I believe these people, they said try to get to that dam and get all the evidence that you can, because they could have opened up all these dams. And dams, I need to tell you this, Everybody needs to know this. A Native American from California. He is a engineer. He's about maybe 70 years old. And that's all he's ever done is worked on dams. And he said that not one dam should have ever been built anywhere. We don't need dams. Now, why would they build dams?
To control the people.
Later on, they can open them up and destroy the whole place.
Yes, that makes sense.
They're weapons.
Yes.
Just like the 5G.
Yeah.
Well, and also you're controlling the power.
Yeah.
Because if you're not letting the water flow, you're controlling the flow of water, which is the power.
Yeah.
And have you heard other people talk about these 20 and 30-foot walls of water that they experienced?
No, I haven't heard that. 20 or 30. No, because 14 inches, they said, was an ash fill. That's really not enough to cause what caused here. We've had rains like that before. Then when I woke, I got to tell you this. Okay, this happened Thursday. When I woke up on Friday, the sky was gray all the way down at the bottom. In other words, you could not see anything. I had my two cars parked right in front of my house, and you could not see those cars.
Wow.
It was all gray. It wasn't smoke, but it was some kind of a chemical. I don't know what it was.
It's like that smart fog, nano fog.
Yeah.
And you know what your elevation is?
My elevation is 2,000 square feet.
Your height, how far above sea level?
She said 2,000 square feet or her
elevation.
elevation.
I mean 2,000. I didn't mean
2,000.
She's at 2,000.
Okay. That's pretty high.
Yeah, I'm 2,000. Now, if you go to Chimney Rock from my house, you still have to go up a mountain to get to Chimney Rock.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because my cousin was visiting one time and he said, I'm going up a mountain. He was going to my place. And I started laughing because it was a hill. But, I mean, it was a mountain to him. I mean, I live right in the mountains. It's like the mountains are, they're like hovering over me.
So, right now, are you able to get around? Are you able to get anywhere from where you're at?
I can get to Food Lion. It's probably maybe 3 miles. They haven't picked up all the wires and things like that off the road. There was so many trees that were just uprooted, very, very healthy trees. Then, this is another thing. On the radio, they told the neighbors, well, if you want the trees out of the road, then you got to do it yourself. Well, the neighbors did it. Yeah, they cut the trees and got them out of the road and everything. And they still wouldn't turn our power on.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get the power turned on until Friday.
Well, we didn't have our military there for 12 days.
12 days.
12 days.
And then when you pulled up to the school, I had to laugh at this one though. When you pulled up to the school, they came out and they said, "You want flushing water, or do you want regular water?"
Oh my
Drinking
goodness.
water.
Another question. I know this is another question. What about animals?
They're not good to animals here. I hate to say it. This is what they did a couple months ago. I guess it was like 6 months ago. And it's pretty sad. They couldn't find homes for, this is supposed to be a no-kill shelter, but they lie because it's a kill shelter. And they even, this is how demonic Asheville is. They listed how many animals they murdered.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock over that one. I can't believe it. They said we got so many animals that we have to euthanize them. And they actually had a list of how many animals they murdered.
Wow.
They're nothing but a pack of murderers. I don't have anything to do with the government here, and I don't want them near me.
Right.
I don't want, in fact, I used to tell people about the Bible, but now it's really hard for me because I want to punch everybody out.
Right.
I do.
I've seen a bunch of, skimming through the internet and stuff. I've seen a bunch of horse videos and stuff. Do they have a lot of horses in that area?
A lot of horses. In fact, one, I don't know whose horse it was, but it got loose and it was in the backyard. But the neighbors up the road, they have horses. So they took the horse in. And then I'd seen a cow that was out. Because they didn't know what to do. Their owners, were probably dead, and these animals didn't even know what to do. But there's plenty of people that have that here, so they can take them in.
So there's a lot of, in Asheville, there's a lot of support for the LGBTQ community, correct?
Very much so. In fact, this is very shocking. When I left Franklin, Franklin is just a small town. We're all country, that type of people. And then I moved to Asheville. And then I heard that they had topless. That women could go downtown topless.
Wow.
Without any tops, with the boobs hanging out.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't believe it. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to Asheville then.
Wow.
I'll just stay on my property.
Have you seen enough to make any kind of guesstimate of what you think the death toll might possibly be?
I think it's probably in the thousands.
You think so?
Yeah. I think they lied about that too.
Oh, yeah.
They said the death toll is 95. I do not believe that. I was told that there's several children that died. Babies died. One of the babies died just the other day because they didn't put on the woman's electric, and her baby died. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you have to see, they tried to pull this on me, not because it started getting cold here, and so I reported them, and they had my power on the next day. I don't play games.
Hey, Ann, can I ask Ann a question real quick?
I don't play
Ann.
games.
Hey, and we talked about this, I think the last week or the week before. You weren't here. This was when your power was still out. But I was thinking that, like you said, it wasn't that much rain. I think they just blamed it on that hurricane and just the levees and dams. I think that they pulled them, and flooded. They flooded it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Well, and you said that roads were just totally destroyed. That's very unlikely to be caused by rain or maybe
flood, yeah.
By the flood. Like you said, that you think that maybe they did use the energy weapons.
Yeah, I think you can tell it's energy weapons. I mean, if anybody doesn't see that, just like with the chemtrails, I mean, you can look up in the sky, there's chemtrail. It's the same thing. If you look at the land around you, you know what it is. And I'm in a no flood zone.
Are there any dams at a higher elevation than where you are?
There's a main dam in Lake Lore. And I think we have one in Asheville. Lake Julia.
Do you know anybody, Ann? Do you know anybody that had flood insurance there?
No, I don't think hardly anybody did. They said 40% of people did, but I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
No.
Everything they say is a lie.
Yeah.
Because 40% of people coming here is not going to get flood insurance.
Right. You're in the mountains.
Not in the mountains.
No.
That's like getting hurricane insurance when you're 500 miles away from it. You know what I mean?
Right, from the coast.
Right. So that's where you have to kind of sift through the lies and the truth. And I guarantee you there's very little truth. If they told the truth, they would say Nashville and surrounding areas, including Virginia, was attacked. And we are going to do our investigation. We're going to find out what planes were there. They know what planes were overhead at that time.
Well, and let me just say this real quick. So then right after, 2 weeks later, they had this Hurricane Milton, and they blew it up, and they just made it bigger than they can make it big, and everybody get out. And I think that was a distraction from Helene. Hurricane.
I agree. Yep, totally.
They did that purposely, yeah.
For everybody to forget and not even look back at to where you're at. And
I agree. Great distraction. Diversion.
Absolutely. That was a distraction. That's the first thing I thought of.
And then nothing happened. Nothing. It was so crazy because, I was looking at, the news channels and stuff when it hit landfall, and they were reporting 25-mile-an-hour winds. I'm like, I used to be working out in 35-mile-an-hour winds, and they're sitting here going, and then I finally went to bed, and I got up in the morning to check, to see what I could see, and there was no news channels reporting anything because there was nothing to report.
No, there never is. We used to have hurricane parties. They were so much fun. They were. I'll never forget them. We would dress up like the 50s and the 60s, and the skirts and all that. And then we'd come on. I was a motorcycle rider, so we'd bring our bikes over there. Oh, we had a blast during the hurricanes.
Hey, Ann, I got a question for you. Did you hear about the $750 loan? Is that true?
That is not true. Well, one woman got $300 for something for that. What it is, this is the way they explained it. They do give out $750 to some people. It's a certain type of people they give it to. Well, they have to pay that back.
Yeah.
But if they don't pay it back, they take your property.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I had heard.
So let me I said this on the last live. So let me give you a little lowdown. In Houston, we had Hurricane Beryl that came through, and it had a little destruction. I mean, not enough, trees came down, blah blah blah, I did hear a guy, a tree fell on his house, that he's a customer of mine. That kind of stuff, but nothing. We were out of power for like 5 days. That kind of stuff. Yeah, we kind of went through a little bit of the, aftermath. But so I live in so anybody ever knows, I live in a travel trailer in a small lot that has 10 trailers. Okay, and we're all travel trailers, very small. And my next door neighbor, which is, we I don't know if we can get along very well, but we have our differences. But anyway, came up a few weeks ago and said, hey, I claimed from FEMA $750 for damage, and they sent me a check, and that's how I got my rent paid. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, the next door neighbor next to him did the same thing. And he the neighbor said he had an inspector come out and wanted to inspect his property, and he says, no, I just want the $750 claim. And the inspector left and walked away. And I was like, you know what? They could have just given up their property. I wasn't going to claim. I don't want nothing from FEMA. I'm right there with you, Ann. I don't care. I don't want a bottle of water from them. I will get it myself.
No.
But you know,
Hey.
people want things for free. He didn't
Yep.
have damage. Nobody had damage. But so the inspector was like, okay, and he walks away. I bet you that was in the claim, the disclaimer.
They're actually called small business administration loans.
Hey, Ann and Michelle, I got a really good suggestion. If Ann doesn't mind, if anybody in the chat has a question while we have her, you know, you guys, if you want to ask a question, and if you don't mind, I mean, you know, I'm sure they might have a question that we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, I already.
Yeah, I want to warn as many people as possible because this is people's lives. You know, we lost a lot of lives here.
Yeah, and that's very sad. Very sad. We knew when we hadn't heard from you. I mean, Chuck was like, you know, Ann is from Asheville area, and he said I haven't seen anything from her, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know.
We reached out a couple times and didn't hear nothing back for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And I even went back back to videos where I could see where you had commented to try to get a hold of you. It took you a few days after that, but you know, yeah, if anybody thinks Red Cross and FEMA and you know, any of these people are going to help you, no. I mean, how evil is it to tell people, oh, here's $750 won't get you a week in anything.
Yeah, and they'll take your property for
and then if you don't pay it back and it's all in the small little letters, then your whole life is gone.
Yeah, and the thing of it is people do not want their name listed on anything if they can help it. I know with Social Security, people have to be on that and things like that. But other than that, stay away from all that stuff.
Right.
You know? And I mean, like I told people years ago, this is what I told people. I said, get you a little trailer. You know, this is way before all this stuff. This was like 15 years ago. I said, get yourself a little trailer on a piece of land. And who cares if someone calls you trailer trash? Who cares? You know? I said, get yourself a little trailer, put it on a piece of land, get it paid for, and then whatever happens, you've got stability there.
Yes.
You know.
Hey, Cormac asked about the water, Ann. Is the water contaminated, or do y'all have still fresh water?
My water, I think, has what it was is I was rinsing out some clothes, and I hung them out on the fence, and I noticed it was sulfur.
Oh shit!
So sulfur. You might not have been on the chat when I was talking about that. Sulfur is part of geoengineering. They put that in the stratosphere, the sulfur for the geoengineering, and I know I had sulfur.
Wow!
It was all over the clothes. You could smell it. It was horrible. I can't drink the well water now. And until that, I don't know how to get that sulfur out.
Well, and they've also said that there's bodies. You know, I mean, people are floating down the rivers, and you know, I mean, if you think about that, that's contamination in itself.
For sure.
Contamination. Oh, another thing too, the helicopters. I didn't tell you about that. The helicopters for 2 weeks, well, over 2 weeks. Today was the only break we had. There was helicopters constantly over my house. I mean, constant. And they were, I live in a concrete house, and they were so close to my house that everything was shaking.
What kind of helicopters? What do they look like?
They look like military.
Okay, like, were they black?
I couldn't tell if they might, you know, I think they were military.
Right.
And I just went outside and I told them, I said, I'm not afraid of you. You can do what you want. You know, they've done that to me before. You know. Then we get so close to the house, so I just wait outside. If they hit the house, well.
Wow.
I don't know why they do that, but they've been doing it, nonstop.
I usually flex at the helicopters when they drive by.
Got my number. I don't care.
Say that again, Brian.
I said I flex at the helicopters when they fly by. You don't want none.
But I was an activist in 2008. Oh, they tried to run me off the road. They tried to all kind of stuff. And then I went to the Franklin police station. Listen to this one. And I said, I have a whole stack of information on what I'm working on, and I want to leave it with y'all so you can read it. Well, one of the deputies, he called me that night, and he said, if you go to the sheriff's office, they have a pair of handcuffs with your name on it. With my name on them.
Wow.
I couldn't help. So I thought, well, I understand.
And I just wanted to tell you how thankful I am for you to be on here. We were really worried about you, and we knew that you would be able to tell your story. And I think everybody in this chat is very thankful for you, because we already know that you're awake, and it's just, I think it's a blessing. It's a big blessing to have you on here, because I have no doubt anything that you say. I don't have any doubt whatsoever in your truth, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as the media, when I would listen on the radio, I would get so frustrated I just turn it off, because they didn't tell the truth the way everything happened. They didn't tell it. I mean, it was almost like they have ADHD, because they would go from here to there to there, but never really explaining to anybody what had happened.
Right. They never
and
did.
As far as Verizon, I mean, the towers, as far as I know, didn't even get hit. They took our communication so that we couldn't help anybody. And this is what angers me, because we had a right to help people. In fact, that one girl, she stopped that guy from rescuing somebody. And I put in a comment, I said, if someone needs rescued, you rescue them. You don't care what anybody says.
Right. Well,
you rescue that person.
So we on the last live last week, I don't know if you know this, but we covered North Carolina, Asheville, and because the way I'm thinking, if you're a flat earther, or if you're you want to prove this or you want to prove that, and you're a part of a small truther community, to me there was nothing more important than what was happening in your neck of the woods. And who gives a shit about, excuse my French, who gives a shit about flat earth, or you still have those channels that are, that's all they're covering. And I was like, no, this is real shit that we need to be covering. Mm-hmm. And I remember, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Oh goodness. We already know that the news is fake. We already know they're never gonna, they have to cover it because something happened. But are they still covering anything on it? Probably not. If very little. And the devastation is just extremely huge.
Mm-hmm.
I see them trying to cover Florida right now for Hurricane Milton for nothing. And you can tell the fakeness. You can see the videos that they're just pushing the narrative, and all the flooding and all the tornadoes and I could tell just by the next day, I could tell it was a nothing burger, and it was all a distraction to get everybody
looking the right
Yep,
way.
looking away.
When's the last time you ate at a Whataburger?
Yeah, and another thing too, I want to forget. We were told all of these people from other states were coming to help us. They said all of these people, even from Canada, and they were going to get our power on. They were going to bring food and water and blah, blah, blah. No one.
Really?
Not even one person.
I've seen a lot of videos of people transferring goods and all kinds of stuff. So
that's a lie.
Wow.
That was all a lie. That's where the lies come in.
Wow.
Hey, and one more thing about that is you cannot go in North Carolina. You can't go to the gas station and buy a pack of gum without them saying you want to round up for the Hurricane Helena North Carolina Fund. They're doing that everywhere, and I guarantee you guys aren't getting any of that money.
No.
I see that everywhere regardless, and it has nothing
Everywhere.
to do with that, but everywhere I go, they got that everywhere all the time. I just say no.
Always.
No.
I'm
no
the same
again.
way because it's all a money scheme. And not that I don't want to help. This is kind of the only way I can help and that we can help is to try to get the truth out.
Get the truth out, yeah.
Yeah, and try to expose what needs to be exposed. Like I said,
Yeah, that was all lies. And people were coming from Canada and all of these. Oh my gosh, what lies! In fact, the media did not. They did not tell the truth about anything other than we had a hurricane, which that was fake too. If they told the truth, they would have said North Carolina and surrounding areas were attacked. We don't know what it was. They wouldn't have had to say what it was, but they would, investigate to find out what it was.
Where you were, when did the rain start and when did they stop?
Okay, they started Thursday. Thursday it was just a little bit, like sprinkly stuff. And then it started towards the evening, and it was gone by Friday afternoon.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that much, really.
No. In fact, we've had more rain than that. Asheville has very unusual weather. We have winds sometimes that are 40 to 50 miles an hour. Oh, it's awful those times.
So there's no way that rain could have broke those dams and levees. There's no way. But you said that y'all didn't even get that much.
Yeah, we didn't get any wind here. There was like 2 bursts, wind because I can tell by my fan in the bathroom. But there's only 2 times, and hardly any wind at all. No wind. And we always got, in fact, we've had way worse weather than this time.
Oh, wow.
That's the way
That truth isn't out there. I haven't heard anybody say that right there, that they didn't get that much rain.
Yeah.
And like what I noticed real quick on the videos or people that were reporting on this devastation, their channels were huge. They weren't small little channels going, "Hi, this is Melissa. I just want to let you know I want to film this and let you know that we're hurting," but whatever. They were never small channels. They had 50,000 sub,
Some of those videos got millions of views, Michelle. Like 1 or 2 of the videos you showed of people down there. I found those later on YouTube, and some of them got like 1 million, 2 million views.
Right.
Especially the ones where the couple was like, "Hurry up, go as fast as you can through the flood water." That one.
Right.
So,
I think they broke the dams. I really do, because those we never needed one dam, according to that engineer. We never needed one dam because there's primary water. Now, Deborah Zavaris, whatever her name is, she's missing. I have not heard from her in a couple of years, but she has all kinds of documents on what they're doing. All kinds of documents. and a wonderful, wonderful woman. But I've not heard from her. I hope they didn't hurt her. You know, but she has all kind of documents, and she probably has documents on what they were going to do here, because see, Masons brag about what they do.
Right.
They brag about it, and they will tell you ahead of time. But you know, when someone says a hurricane is going to hit Western North Carolina, people probably thought, "Oh my gosh," and it wasn't even true anyway.
No.
So after Friday, you didn't have rain?
No. In fact, we haven't had any rain since. Not one drop.
I immediately heard that Asheville got 16 inches of rain.
No. I think they said 12 or 14.
And
some places only got 10. Some places got less than that.
Okay, so to me, that's a numbers game. See, you know how they always play the numbers game. They've got to tell you only 200 people are missing. Only, you only got 14. Who knows what the heck they're lying about? You know, obviously they're lying about the people that are not here no more, that are missing. You say it's in the thousands. You know, to me, they could. You probably could have got 5 inches of rain, and then them just saying it's 14 inches. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, that's normal for us.
Right.
We get those kind of rains every single year. So why would roads actually be broken in pieces, and roads that were uplifted and rubbles, and that one was a huge hole? There's not even any dirt under there.
Right.
How are they even going to repair that?
Yeah, you know, we had some floods here a few times where I live. I live up in the mountains myself to an extent, and because of, you know, valleys and stuff like that and the funneling of the water, it does rip up the roads like that. I've seen whole blacktop roads just get lifted up because the water starts eating away underneath whatever the blacktop was laid on top of, and then the whole road would just lift off and go down into the creek. It's crazy. It looks exactly the same with videos and pictures I've seen from stuff down there. Now, you know, I'm not down there, so I can't see the extent of all the damage. I just see what bridges and roads look like from my whatever, and I've seen that stuff happen. But you know, like what you're saying, explosions and rocks. Now we don't have huge boulders and just like stuff that looks like a bomb. It looks like a flood. You know what I mean? Not a bomb, but anyway.
Yeah, Chimney Rock was bombed. I mean, there is no question about that at all. Because the buildings were damaged from the top down. I mean, they were bombed. That place was bombed. You can't even get up there unless you have a donkey or a horse.
Any fires?
Yes, there was houses that burned down. Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know what was in the air Friday. I mean, it was like a gray type substance where you couldn't even see anything. It wasn't like fog. It was very thick and you could not see through it. So I don't know what that was. So, but yeah, the media, it was sickening. Oh, and another thing too is now, when I went on Facebook and looked at the news, now they're telling everybody that they're mentally ill.
Really?
Yeah. They're making announcements that people in Asheville and the surrounding areas now need to go to psychiatrists.
Wow.
Oh, that made me so mad. I put down a comment that I had to end up deleting it. You know, come after me then.
I think we've all been there. When you get mad enough, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, they're telling everybody that crazy for what they experience.
Well, and that's part of the plan too, is that wanting to take our guns away, and they got to prove mental illness, and that kind of stuff. So that makes sense to me, because if they can sit there and tell other people they're mentally ill, then everybody just automatically believes it, and they're like, oh yeah. It's insane what's the shit and the propaganda they put out.
Hey, Ann, I was out for a while, but did you talk about the crime? Have you talked about the crime there yet?
The crime is real bad. I live in a place that most people do not know how to get here. I'm like tucked in a mountain type area, and most people wouldn't even know how to get here. But I had people come here too on this road, and then I would just stand out there and say, "Come on, I'll show you something." I mean, I confronted this one car, but yeah, they're looting and they're stealing things. Oh, the crime is absolutely unreal.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I mean, let's think of it this way. So they create the devastation. Okay. Do you think that they would create the looters?
Yes, because I'll tell you what. Whenever those people came from other places to destroy Asheville, guess what? They told them to do it. They did.
Yeah.
That's another thing that shocked me too. They were letting them do graffiti stuff all over the sidewalks. They were putting rocks through people's windows.
Yeah.
And they said they could do it.
Yeah.
They destroyed Asheville.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
they could do it.
It makes total sense.
Yeah. And where I came from, Franklin, what happened when the busload came from Atlanta, they went to Franklin. Well, on one side of the road, the locals were locked and loaded. And whenever those people seen that in Atlanta, they took their stuff and went on the bus and left.
Yeah.
Like the paid protesters. Yeah, kind of like the paid protesters.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, these elites, I mean, these created, I'm not going to cuss. Anyway, I almost said it, but, these elite members that create all this devastation, that are trying to do a land grab, that are, they have their nose in every nook and cranny to keep it going. So, you got the land grabbers, you have the, you have it all going on, and they're putting everybody in their place. And of course, the military is not going to be there for 12 days, because that gives time for people to perish. It gives time for people to give up hope. It gives time gives it time for people to starve and
Yeah, a lot of people starved to death. Yeah, they did. And you see that when they took our communication, that's what I'm most furious about. Because they didn't give us a chance to help anybody. Because we had no communication.
Right.
And we couldn't just get in our vehicles and go, because all the roads were buckled up, and you couldn't even get paths.
I mean, if you guys think about it, what a perfect storm.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said on the radio. They said it was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, he was telling us in bits and pieces. He knew it. He knew what they did. Because he said it was a perfect storm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I remember that very clearly. Mm-hmm.
So
I was telling him off when I was in the car.
So how are you now, Ann? How are you how are you feeling? I mean, what's your state of mind right now? And give us some take on that.
Well, I feel like I need to get out more, and I need to carry my cross, and I need to go to people and spread the news. I don't want to. It's not in my heart. But I think once I start doing it, I'll be blessed inside, knowing that I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to tell anybody about the Bible. I really don't. I don't care about it. I mean, what I've seen in the way people are, I don't want nothing to do with them. But in my mind, I know what I have to do. I have to carry my Bible. One guy carries a cross along. But I need to take my Bible and I need to tell people about the Lord Jesus Christ. And if they shoot me, they shoot me. Because I think I'm brave enough now than I was before, because I have nothing to lose. I do have a daughter that lives close by, but she's got her life. She works at the hospital and, she does good. And but I'm here by myself with my dog and cat. But I need to get out there and tell people about the Lord.
Yeah.
Whether I want to or not.
Time is short. Time is short.
Yeah, the time is too short. And if I could maybe reach one person, maybe it'll be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're in a time right now that it's almost too late.
Yeah.
It really is. I hate to say that, but I do believe in a hell. I didn't used to believe in hell, but I do now. And because I believe in hell and I know it's real, I have to get out. And I have to carry my Bible and I have to tell people about the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's the way I have to live my life.
Hey, Chuck, explain to Ann what you told Dub and I about the restrainer, and I mean, just explain to her why you think she was saved.
Oh, I was just telling them how, and I know you know about Sodom and Gomorrah when Abraham was talking to God, and he said, "Surely you won't destroy this place if there's one righteous person here." And God said he wouldn't. And then he mentioned 30 people, and there wasn't 30. And then he went down to 20, there wasn't 20, all the way down to like 1. And then God led Lot and his family out, and then fire rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah. I think that they're not going to be able to destroy an entire place if there are righteous people there. But you said yourself that Asheville was wicked with the witches and the LGBT. I think when places get so dark and wicked where there's no righteous people that live there, I think that's when they're allowed to be destroyed.
Right. And I think that's why the Lord Jesus Christ let it happen, and he didn't try to stop it, because the wickedness here is unbelievable.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, you said that many times, and I know other people that live up there, and I mean they have witch parades. And tell them about some of those like witches where they bang those pots and pans and all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, they they dance. The one time I went to Asheville towards the evening when I first moved here, they were dancing around and worshiping their witches.
Yeah.
They're proud to be witches. That's their Wicca, called Wicca.
Wicca, that's it. Wicca's real big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Asheville is actually Sodom and Gomorrah. And then the people that aren't witches or, they're not into that stuff, they don't care. So that's just as bad. They don't care, if people destroy their place or, I don't know. It's just a weird, when I lived in Franklin, I was kind of protected all the time, to a certain degree because people didn't act like that. But this is a place, it's like Nineveh. Well, like I say to myself, I don't want to be swallowed up by the fish.
Right.
Jonah was supposed to go to Nineveh, and he didn't want to go, so he got swallowed by the fish. So if I don't want to tell people about the Bible, I don't want to be swallowed by the fish.
Right.
Real quick, you're getting a little gargly.
Yeah, I know. They try to mess this phone up too.
Yeah.
Because they don't, especially when I start talking about the Lord Jesus Christ, I have a lot of interruptions.
Yep. Every time.
Yeah. And it always happens, my comments going here and there. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was chasing down my comments. I'm in the right place. Oh my God.
I'm gonna just tell you guys something real quick. My screen just went completely black and just came right back up. But that was like a trip. Just saying.
Yeah, stuff like this always happens to me. Yeah, just like when I tried to get on your live. They didn't recognize the new phone number, so I put it in. I did everything the way I was supposed to. Then they said we recognize it, and they still wouldn't let me on. And then my computer was going real slow, like a turtle gun in there. I mean, just as slow as can be.
Wow. I lost my cell service, and I usually have it through here. And that's one thing with the hurricane. I was driving in about 2 hours stretch. All the cell towers went down. And they were having blackouts everywhere, with AT&T and Verizon.
And the thing of it is they should. I mean, with all these modern, inventions, they can't invent towers that can't be,
Well, they have satellites in space. These satellites in space aren't working good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The stream is reporting that we're echoing really bad.
Of course.
Maybe if I hold the phone.
Yeah, it's picking up feedback.
Yeah.
From the phone
it's
to the
feedbacking.
mic. But it worked real well for a long time.
Yeah.
It's in and out.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where my mind is right now.
Yeah,
I need to get out there, talk to people and stuff because, I can't really do anything else at this point,
Hey, Ann, would you mind trying to call me right back? Okay. Bye.
Yeah, connection was losing.
Let's see if we can get a better connection. It's getting really gargly. Man, you guys are amazing in the chat. I love you guys. I just really appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah.
With the support. I'm really sad that Kipp's not here, but he said that he might have to go out, so he did. And I'm sure he'll go back and listen to this live.
He said he might be back.
Yeah.
By the way, I was kidding about the satellites in space. And Monica mentioned that they're powered by cables that run through the ocean. Yeah, I've seen that. They have cables all through the ocean from connecting all the different continents and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
So real quick, Marcy asked whose channel got taken down. So my main channel, this channel got taken down from last week's live, doing doing about the hurricane that hit North Carolina.
Reporting the news. Yeah, she was fair use reporting news. Yep.
So I had someone that claimed a copyright strike that I showed one of their videos. We don't know exactly which video it was. Some people are saying it was Chuck's doing the, sound of silence. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they took my whole channel down. They gave me the option to email the person. And I just told them I had no intentions of trying to fight the copyright strike. But I just told him, I said, I'm a small channel next to your big channel, just trying to get out the word on this hurricane that affected North Carolina. And we're all supposed to work together. And that's not the way it's happening. Anyway, here she is again. Let's see if we can get her. Oh, shit. Whoopsie. Let me do that. Hold on a second. Let me call her back. But so it was my channel that was taken down briefly for like a day and a half, 2 days. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to share your channels. I know just Ron, just the voice, shared his. He got taken down. He got another channel taken down. Now he's on number 7.
Oh my goodness.
Hannah.
Hello?
Hello, thank you for calling the
What? I'm not calling nobody. What?
Did you call the wrong number?
It said spam risk. Let's see. Huh. Wow. Let's see.
Yeah, Nut House. YouTube is in the dumpsters now, man. YouTube is getting bad. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a video. I got a warning threatening to take my channel down because of a comment that I made on my channel. I mean, I was commenting to one of my subscribers on my own channel, and they gave me a warning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. You sound so much better right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, Chuck. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, you're fine. You're fine. She's
she's back, guys.
Yep.
Better connection.
Yeah, I tried to call you and the recording kept coming on. So.
Yeah. I was trying to call you back, and I called somebody else. I don't know. But yeah. So, I spy with my eyes, Greta face. How dare you? What? How?
Oh, another thing too about the rain and all that stuff. Where I live, it's downhill everywhere. In other words, I live on like if you go out of my road, you're on very curvy roads, and they always go down, go up, down, like a roller coaster. So it's not like the rain is going to settle on the road in one place.
Right.
Like there wouldn't be inches of rain just because it would be going downhill.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, it does make sense that they could have steered the hurricane, to give y'all, 5-10 inches of rain, and then pull the dams and levees and flood Asheville, and then blame it on the hurricane. Nobody would know any better,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that they used directed energy because you couldn't hear anything because the rain was loud.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really hear. If there was planes above, you couldn't hear them. People that work for, the airplanes and stuff, they need to look at that and see if there was any planes in the area at that time. Or they could have done it through drones too.
Yeah.
You know, those drones, they're wicked. People around here, they'll shoot them down. Yeah, one guy shot one. But it could be drones too, carrying those things, you know, destroying things.
Very big possibility.
Mm-hmm.
If
As
any,
far as it wouldn't even have, there would be no proof.
again, if anybody in the chat has a question for Ann, since she's in Asheville, North Carolina, she's directly right there in the middle of the devastation. If
Ground
anybody,
zero.
Yeah, ground zero, and she's a trooper, like we all are. She's very much awake. But if anybody has any questions for her, just drop them in the chat, and I will let her know because she can't see the chat.
I can see the chat, but I can't comment because I don't have my iPad. I'm using my phone.
Right. Are you still driving, Chuck?
I'm shut down. I'm parked.
Okay, good.
No. Yeah.
Very good.
You know, I lost signal a minute ago, and I had to walk up to the front of the truck and put my phone up high on the dashboard to get an extra bar. So there's that.
What was your question, Ann, to Chuck?
I wanted to find out if he liked his new job.
Ugh.
Oh man, it's a job. That's about it. I'm sick of working. Period. But you know how it is.
Yeah, what about your mom? Is she doing better?
She is. She's starting to stand up, and she walked all the way to the door the other day for the first time. But it's just slow. She's 83 years old, and she broke her hip, and you know, she said it was about 10 times worse than when she broke her back. It was a lot more painful. Yeah. So, but thank you for asking.
Yeah, the whole time I was praying. I mean, I always pray for y'all every night.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Everybody on the chat, everybody, Doug, Chuck, everybody. These are my prayers.
Yeah.
We definitely prayed for you during all this mess.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we will continue to pray for you because I'm telling you, this is so crazy. I'm so thankful to have you on here.
Now, how's Angie doing?
She's doing pretty good. Right, Chuck?
Yeah. She's getting better every day. She's talking better every day.
Yeah. She's up to her how would you say it? Yeah, she doesn't hold anything back anymore. She's back to her old Ange. And yeah, she's doing wonderful. She's getting there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Does she know what caused that? Because she looks too young to be having a stroke.
Well, didn't her mom have a major stroke? And that's what.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, they say high blood pressure, but who knows? I mean, it could be frequencies nowadays. They could be targeting. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be a number of things, I guess.
Yeah, that targeting like a TI. They call them targeted individuals. Now, I've been a TI for many years, but a lot of that is a lot of hype too.
There's go ahead.
They mainly, I can't see that part of it. Like with the TIs, there again, I think it's some truth and some lies. You see what I mean?
Right.
Because I've been a TI since a little kid. They will try to run you off the road because I have you with me. In fact, one guy tried to run me off the road, and then I pulled off. I made a right-hand turn, and he started spinning in the road, round and round and round. And then one girl, she was targeting me, and she went in a ditch. Well, I had a truck, you know, my 150 truck, and I had a V8 engine, and she thought she could really do something. It was so funny. But I went back and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh, I'm fine."
So, Ann, there's a question in the chat that says, I have a question if she has any suggestions on where to send money to aid in her area.
Where to get there, where it
Yeah.
needs to go.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody's ripoffs.
Right.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
money, they're not going to get it.
Right.
The only thing, like somebody was asking me that last night, she said, "Do you need anything?" And I said, "No." I said, "My daughter, you know, helped me, so I don't need anything." The people that need it is in Chimney Rock, but you can't get to them. So the only people that can actually help is people that have, you know, the helicopters, and they could get in there and do it themselves, because everybody is out for the buck. Everybody. When I first moved here, when I first moved in this house, the basement, of course, the guy, you know, he had a bunch of mason jars down there, but I had to have it cleaned out. And the guy, I said, "How much would it be?" He gave me an estimate of $10,000. And I said, $10,000. I said, "Where's the camera?" "The camera somewhere." Is this a joke?
Right.
I got real mad. But that's the way it is here. Everybody's out for the buck.
Right.
If you send money, they're not going to get it.
Right. I was going to say something earlier as we were talking about the propaganda going on. I don't know if you've seen the helicopter video of the guy and his son went out. We're getting some feedback. That we had on last week's live, that they went to help a bunch of people. They picked up there was an elderly couple. They picked up the woman, and he saw a rescue emergency rescue place, and he dropped her off there, and they told him that it was a no-fly zone, that he was not allowed to go back and get the other person, which he dropped off his son with the other gentleman, and he was like, "Well, I got to go get my co-pilot," which was his son, and they were like, "Well, you can't go back there," and he was like, "Well, I got to go get my co-pilot." He went back there, got his son, picked him up, and left the guy there.
Well, I kind of believe that story. I can see that too, because I'll tell you why. I seen a guy when I was at the fire station get water, and he wanted to help, and they ignored him. They were turning people away that people needed help. Oh yeah, they were turning them away, and I seen it with my own eyes. That guy was a young guy. He was willing to work, and he was ready, and they ignored him.
Yeah, I just you know, I kind of find it funny because, like, if I'm gonna go, if I have a helicopter and the cops tell me, or the firemen or whatever tell me that I can't do it, they can kiss my you know what.
That's right. I feel the same way, but people are cowards now.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they're not like us. They, you know, like my comment was, if somebody needs rescued, you can go rescue them. You know, regardless. It doesn't matter what
you're not going to care about the cops or anything.
No, I don't care about cops. I don't care about the government.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, you just do what you have to do. But people don't think that way now.
No.
So I kind of believe that story. I could be wrong. You know, but because I've seen it happen with my own eyes. And they said that was a real problem, that people did come to help, but they turned them away. And I seen it with my own eyes. They treated that guy like dirt.
Wow.
And he was there to help.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm good.
Real quick, I just wanted to say this. I'm just responding to the chat real quick, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Ann. If you guys want to sub to people's channels, just click on their avatar, and it'll take you straight to their channel, and you can sub to them. Just in case anybody wants to know, because the Nut House was saying, "Can you guys put your links in here?" So just click on their avatar. You should be able to sub to whoever is in here, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue on, Ann.
But, you know, one thing about it, though, no matter what Satan and his demons try, or whatever they do, they never get anywhere. I mean, I've been at this for a very long time. You know, in other words, if you're ready to go, God will take you. And if not, you're not ready to go, then he protects you with everything.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, he's protected me through things you all would never. I mean, it was amazing how I've been pulled out of situations. You know, because you know, I'm a loudmouth. You know, I want to help people, and I want to, you know, sometimes I go too far, and sometimes I get myself in some real bad situations. You know,
right?
Dangerous situations,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's always there. I mean, he's, you know, in other words, God is in complete control. He allowed Asheville to get destroyed. Oh, well, I mean, that's his decision. You know, I hate to see it for the innocent people, but I haven't seen any innocent yet. You know, I'm sure I will, you know, when I go out and I start telling people about the Bible. You know, there could be one person out there that wants to know about Jesus Christ, you know, that's just waiting. You know.
Right.
But he liked it for a reason.
Yeah. Can I say one thing real quick? Using your phone, trying to comment, it says join the chat. You have to link YouTube to StreamYard, and I don't have but one bar out here, and every time I try to do it, it says error, and it won't let me. So I can't comment, but I can read the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they control people with these cell phones.
They do. They really do.
Yeah, because if they only let you have one bar, yeah, it's just gonna work out. You know,
I've heard that, but I haven't seen that much.
Yeah, the landlines were better because usually if something happened, you always still could communicate.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's why they got rid of them.
Yeah, they got rid of them.
They sure did. And still some people still have landlines, but not very many.
No. No, if you move somewhere, you can't get one. But they even got Irwin, Tennessee. All the places that they got were tourist areas. Yeah, that they could get, you know, money from. Irwin, let me see, it got Marshall, Irwin, all those places that were tourist areas. Greenville, South Carolina is a beautiful town. I mean, it's a city, but it's really, really a nice city. Way nicer than Asheville. And they got that too. Mm-hmm. So just about every town they got is a tourist town.
Hey, let me mention something real quick. Now that we got Ann on here, I was talking to Michelle about this earlier, and I think this would be a good idea because we don't know how long YouTube is going to be up. And, you know, like with what happened with Asheville, you know, we didn't hear from Ann for a while. But I was thinking maybe not tonight, but we need to, when we get a pretty big chat, we need to let people try to connect, you know, and give out their emails. And if anybody wants to give out their phone number, just so, you know, the community, we all know each other pretty good, but, you know, I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to communicate to one another. You know what I mean? It could go out tomorrow. But just if anybody wants to connect, you know, like to kind of give their email address and, you know, so we could kind of save each other's emails or something, then that way, when the shit hits the fan, excuse my language, it could at least get contact some people.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind giving out my phone number at all.
Me neither.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care either.
I don't mind it at all because I just have my dog and cat, and I'm here by myself. It would be nice to get a phone call.
And it's really weird because I feel closer to the people online than I feel closer to most people outside of here. Of course, I got my best friend sitting next to me, but I'm telling you, if I didn't have him, I'd be lost. And I'm just saying, I think
Same way.
it's such a good, because like Chuck was telling me about this the other day, and he said, would you know my phone number if something happened? I said no. He goes,
Yep.
I wouldn't know yours either. And I said that's a really good idea, that we should all try to reach out and put our phone numbers, because we were actually, Ann, we were pretty frantic about you, and we were really concerned and really wanted to communicate with you, even though we might have not been able to communicate right away. We could have kept trying, until we got a hold of you. So I think it's a very good idea, and everybody should maybe think about that. And
I'll put my phone number in the chat next time.
Okay.
Next time you have a live. So
Because they're gonna pull the internet eventually. I don't know how long, but and definitely YouTube. YouTube's hanging on by a thread. They took Michelle's channel down, last week. Who's to say they couldn't take our backup channels too? They know who we are. So.
Oh, they definitely know who we are.
Oh yeah, they know who we are.
They know who all of us are.
Yeah,
everybody in the chat.
And we have tried to kill her so many times.
Yeah, they know who we are.
Yeah, they know. No. Oh, they know. But yeah. So as far as the media telling the truth, no. They didn't tell the real devastation. It was way, way worse than what they were saying. All the neighbors, helping neighbors and all that stuff. I didn't see that. They were turning away people that wanted to help, and they were very lazy, very, very lazy. And then the guy on the radio, he goes, "Well, they only have to work 9 to 5, and they have to go home to their families."
Oh wow.
I remember a time, if there was an emergency, you had to work, at night. Or they would get people to work at night just to get people's electric back on. And that's what killed a lot of people, I think. With the older people, I think the fear of not knowing what happened to their families, that killed them. And then also not, just not knowing, not having food, not having water. Older people, they have to be hydrated. They have to have plenty of liquids.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have water, and a lot of people don't store water. A lot of people around here, they have wells. They have wells.
Hi, Western. I wanted to say hello to you and let you know that if you guys came in late, you guys going to have to turn around and watch the whole live stream because it's very important. But anyway, I'm glad you're here, Western.
Yeah, hi, Western. Yeah, we're all going to have to go through something. Whether, I had to go through the disaster, but the Lord Jesus Christ, he spared me. He spared my daughter.
Yeah.
But we're all going to have to go through something. And I thought I was a strong person. I really did, because I've always been like that. Very, very strong. but you know, something like this can break you.
Yeah.
It can.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I couldn't bring water to somebody or bring them food or something like that. I mean, I was completely helpless. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'm a worker. I like to work. I like to get out there and do my part.
Right. You know, I've been broken many times on different certain things that I won't ever go into right now because this is not about me, it's about you. But I'm just telling you, I've been broken before, and I'm telling you that is the most horrible, most horrible feeling to feel, that when you're helpless or you can't go anywhere with it. But when you got God, you know, that's the biggest difference for me, is that I'm like, you know, bring it on. Because you know what? You know, yeah, I don't want nobody to ever have to go through what you went through. But I'm telling you, you know, let's get this party started, and let's get it on. I'm just like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, because we're in a war. We're in a war on the earth, but we're in that spiritual war. You know, and these demons are looking at us and saying, "We want to kill them."
Right?
They want to. Yeah.
Saying, no, you can test them, but you can't kill them.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and especially this is what got me through this whole thing. Okay, so I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help anybody, and I couldn't sleep. You know, because you can't sleep when all this stuff is going on.
Right.
And then I started thinking about all these things, and you begin to say, you know, I was starting to hate my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because then I'd say, well, if I do this, if I do that, and then I would say, well, how could I get water the next day? And oh my gosh, it was awful. Your own thoughts are horrible. Because, you know, you keep thinking, well, where am I going to get water? You know, maybe I should go to this place. Maybe I should go to that place. Oh my gosh. And then I try to read the Bible, and your thoughts are so jumbled. It's hard. You know, like you read the Bible, but it doesn't sink in. You know, yeah, of course, you know, I read the Bible. I've read it, you know, like I would go to the same thing, you know, that I read before. But it was like it was hard to read the Bible. You see what I mean?
Right.
Because of concentration, it was hard to concentrate.
Right.
You know, especially with water. You have to have water. And then I would say, well, if I go to this place and get the water, what time should I go? And oh my gosh. Then you start thinking, oh my gosh. Because when you're busy during the day, you don't have to deal with that, you know? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if anybody ever experienced that before, but it's hard. It's hard to, and then you're thinking, well, I love the Lord. I love Jesus Christ. Why don't I feel closer to him than I do? You know, when you're in a bad situation, you think, oh, in your mind, when you love the Lord, in your mind, you think, no matter what happens, I'll be close to the Lord Jesus Christ and everything will be okay. But it's not like that.
It's,
you know,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I do. Totally. Yeah, totally.
I feel like you're in his arms, and he's got his arms wrapped around you, but it's not like that.
So how do you feel now that everything's kind of calmed down? Do you feel that he's got his arms around you?
I think he was always with me.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time it was a test.
Kind of like a still small voice. That's how I've always heard it described. Kind of like a still small voice.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he was watching me from a distance.
Yeah.
I don't think it was real close. No, I think that I expected too much. I think I was being tested for something more later.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this real quick. So, do you think the enemy at that time was stronger, to push you a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, because the enemy, when he attacks, it's very strong, and of course, your belief and your faith and your is got to be stronger. But I'm just saying, during a devastation like that, you were working against the enemy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I
didn't really feel that either. I didn't feel because he attacks me all the time. In fact, I felt like the attacks weren't even as strong during this time, because it was almost like he's already caused the devastation. I just think that it was some kind of a test that I'm going to find out later. That whatever I went through, it's going to be useful somehow later.
Yeah.
Because
like on the
huh?
like on the level set, our faith has to be tested to make us stronger. Kind of like testing in the fire, how he puts you in the fire to refine like silver and gold. And he also says he won't put more on us than we can handle. So.
Yeah, because I noticed that there was times where I told him, I said, I can't. I said, you promised that we wouldn't go through more than what we can handle.
Right, yeah.
And I said, and I feel like I can't handle this. And so then it would ease up some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was a test on my part. Because he has helped me so much through the years. And I know that I can always depend on him, like, oh, I got your Father in heaven. I mean, he's going to protect me through anything,
Yeah. Well, like Monica said, if we're in Christ and not being attacked, then something's wrong. Satan's not going to come after his children.
No.
He's going to come after the few of us that are left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I just feel that, I feel very, very strong to the Lord Jesus Christ right now. Very strong. But I feel like I was tested, and I feel like I was reproved because I wasn't. He said he only reproves those who he loves. I think it's in Revelation 3. And
Yeah.
I've been, I have been kind of lazy about getting out there and talking to people and stuff like that. I do it online, but maybe he wants me to get out there. And, I could go when everything clears up and, just being at the store. I could just be at the store and bring them up,
Yeah.
And maybe I haven't been doing that the way I should. So he reproved me. But that's because he loved me. And maybe that's why I went through what I did.
Yeah.
Because, I think whoever was behind all this, well, we know who it was, but they could have destroyed my house. These helicopters, they could just, put something right on my roof.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I really think it goes back to like it says in 2 Thessalonians, where it says, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then that wicked man of sin is revealed. So I think that right now, God is restraining the evil. There's a lot of evil in this world, but if God was to remove his restraint, then the devil would kill us all. Those helicopters would bomb your house. He's restraining the evil right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
100%. So he did protect me, and I think the Lord wants me to know, hey, I protected you. You could have been killed. I protected your daughter. She went through hell getting to you.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and now she's fine. She's even buying a house. So she's even blessed with, you know, with the house. She doesn't have to live in an apartment anymore. So a lot of good things came out of this, you know, with my family.
Right.
So a lot of times we don't look at the good things. We just think about, you know, the bad.
Right.
So a lot of good things did come out of this. And but I do need, but I know that I know what I need to do, but I just don't want to do it. But I don't want to be swallowed up by the fish, so I'm going to do it.
You do what your heart desires you to do. God will lead you there.
Yeah. Just remember too that we are under grace.
Yes.
You know what I mean right now.
Yeah,
the Lord, yeah.
Yeah. There could be one person that's lonely and you know, don't know what to do and doesn't know much about the Bible. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even know about the Bible. They don't even never read it.
But most won't listen, you know, and if there's someone God wants you to interact with, he'll put them in your path. You know what I mean?
Where before I really didn't have a desire to go there. I just didn't. But, you know, and I'll try it, you know, and then if he
you feel led to do it, do it.
Yeah, we plant seeds and water seeds, and God brings the increase, and that's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's cashiers I talk to at Food Lion, and I'm always, you know, they like me a lot, and we're always carrying on a conversation, you know, but I need to say, oh, thank God, everything, but, you know, I need to put it in there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the word of God. I need to do that. I mean, you gotta be careful too, because a lot of times you can turn people away.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they get scared. They're like, oh.
But you can, you know, I could always say, well, you know, God saved me from this horrible thing, you know, or something like that, you know.
Well, let me tell you, it's going to come natural. Whatever you're searching for and whatever you think that you need to do, God's going to lead the way. Just ask him to push you in the right direction. And I'm telling you that it will come out naturally, and you won't have to worry about any of that. It'll come out. Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, don't trust me, trust him. I'm just saying. But we've been going 3 hours. Do you think, Anne, that you got out everything that you could possibly tell us about your devastation over there?
Yeah, I think I got it out. I mean, everybody, you know, has their own, you know, thinking about, you know, what they think happened. But people do need to prepare, because it can happen to anyone, and you have to have water.
Yeah.
What else should we have, in your opinion?
I want to make that clear. You can live without electricity. You can go out to your car. You can, you know, do your phone and all that stuff. You can even keep warm, you know, getting in your car. But you have to have water. And that's the hardest thing to get when something like this happens.
What else would you like? Is there anything that you wish you would have had that you didn't have?
Yeah, I wish that I would have filled up my containers, because I have containers, and I could have filled those up with water, and it would have made things so much better.
Right.
Because what I do is, with my cat litter, I buy those big plastic containers that has a handle on it.
Right.
And I save those. And for some reason, I just got lazy and I didn't fill them all up. And I should have filled all those up with water, because that was my biggest regret that I didn't do.
Do you have a water filter? A good water filter?
Yeah, I have a water filter. You know those pitcher things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Zero something. I have one of those, and so yeah, I filter my water and stuff. And another thing too, you have to have canned goods.
Right.
You have to have canned goods. And I wanted to tell you too, that emergency food that they give you, that survival food, it's so nasty. It's
Is
so,
it really?
Oh, it's nasty. But my dog loves it.
What's good for something then?
Yeah. But yeah, you have to have canned goods and not go overboard. Some people go overboard, with stuff. But you do have to think about emergencies. At least have 2 weeks of supplies on hand.
I've always tried to do that. I went through my days of prepping when I first woke up back in 2012. I went crazy with it and all that stuff.
Yeah, I went crazy with it, and I had to throw a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah.
And I've known other people that did that too, and they ended up throwing it out. So I would say canned goods, that's probably the best.
Rice, beans, and bullets.
Yeah, and then outside grills. Yeah, I don't cook outside. I need to get one of those grills.
Yeah.
And start cooking outside. And coffee. Oh my gosh, I missed my coffee so much.
That's a good one to stock up on. Yeah, definitely.
At least has some instant coffee, even though it's not the best. But
yeah, I did end up buying instant coffee and then adding cold water to it. Oh my gosh, that was so nasty.
I'll drink coffee any which way. Just kidding.
Yeah.
If I want it.
So yeah, you do have to prepare because you just don't know who's going to be next.
Right.
Because
you weren't expecting it, were you? I'm sure you weren't expecting this to happen. You never know.
You never know.
No, you never know.
Yeah, because the United States, it's being destroyed left and right.
It is. We might be in World War III right now. It might be a different type of war.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he could use blizzards and stuff like that. So you have to think about that kind of thing, blizzards, and especially if you got kids. Because that baby dying the other day, that makes me pure. Oh man, I'm so mad. That baby dying because they didn't put her electricity on and the baby died.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrible.
That's so bad. So, people that have babies, they need to make sure that they have those coats and those things that the blanket type things that everything's covered up. They need to have plenty of those. And get them at the end of the season sale. Like in the summertime, stock for the next year or something like that.
Right.
Warm clothes is a must. Now in Texas, it don't usually get cold. I lived in Dallas, but now it seems like you all are getting cold weather.
Not here in Houston.
It's still hot there.
We were 95 today.
Ouch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was really hot day. 95 degrees in Houston. Horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was like, could you just back off a little? Yeah, horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Is there anything else, Anne? I want to give you that platform. Is there anything else that you can think of before we close this live out? We've been going for 3 hours, but I want you to be able to get everything that you want to get out and to tell the people what's going on and how you're feeling. And I think that's the most important right now. Is there anything you want to close out with?
Well, I want to close by saying stay away from the government.
Absolutely.
Stay away from FEMA.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, no, I shouldn't say anything. I'm not going to say it. But stay away from FEMA. Stay away from the government.
Yep.
Stay away from all that stuff.
Yep.
If you have to get a little trailer, like I said years ago, and get a little piece of land, you get that. And in that, you know, you can add on to it. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know, but stay away from the government things. Like the government wanted to pay my taxes, I think it was, or something like that. And I pay my own taxes. I don't get involved. So don't get involved with that stuff. You know, that way they're not going to bother you because your name is nowhere. You know, people have to get Social Security and they deserve to get that. But other than that, don't get involved.
Right.
I was just telling Chuck the other day how I wanted to buy a trailer and just go live on the beach, kind of. You know what I mean? And I was just saying how I'm tired of owning everything and whatever. I just want nothing. I want a little trailer, and just we were talking about just how you don't need much to survive. You know what I mean?
Off grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to live.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Yeah, we need to live a simple life because we're not going to take it to heaven anyway.
Nope.
You know, we're not taking material things with us. So, you know, just make your life as simple as possible and less responsibility. And you know, that's the way I live. I don't get involved. I live a very simple life, as simple as I can. And I like it that way.
Yeah, my life is pretty simple. Yes, I'm a part of the enslaved system, unfortunately, because I have to survive. But you know, I don't pay my taxes. The IRS. I'm just kidding. You know, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm I'm not a thief or a liar, but I'm not a complier, and that's how I can sum it all up. You know what I mean? All I want is the truth. We're on a journey for the truth. And all truth matters. I don't care what anybody says. All truth matters. And I am so appreciative of you coming on here. And I was just so happy that I could have this time with you. Chuck, we were all rooting for you to be on here tonight. And I'm very thankful. You're more than welcome to ever come on this panel. If you ever want to speak your piece, you're more than welcome. Anybody is. You know, it's I don't know. I'm out of words. Chuck?
Well, YouTube did try everything they could for me not to be on.
Well, you're still on, and we got a 3-hour live for it.
We found a way, but they did try because I put the phone number in, and they said they accepted it, and then they did everything they could, so I couldn't get on.
Right.
So.
Well, we're not gonna. We're gonna do whatever we can to keep going, and I mean they took down my whole channel last week for the last live. For trying to promote what was going on in North Carolina, and you know, I'm very thankful I got my channel back up, but I'm not going to stop. Nothing's going to stop me, and I think we're all on the same. We're all feeling the same way.
Michelle, what did you title the show tonight? Title it put Ann in there, and I'll mirror the show and put it on my channel.
I titled it Getting Close and Personal with Chuck, Brian, Kipp, Dub, and myself, special guest Ann C.
Okay. I'll put like special guest Ann C from Asheville.
Yeah.
But I'll mirror the show. And that's Ann, you're getting the truth out. You know, that's great.
That's what we want. That's what we were looking for. That's what we wanted to hear. Like I said, there's nothing that you said I have any doubt in. And you've been around for a very, very long time, Ann, and I am so appreciative. I think everybody in this chat is appreciative of you for coming on, and you're a trooper.
Ann's great. She's always been great. I mean, yeah, we appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm a quiet person, you know, I'm kind of shy person. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, hopefully you're not anymore, because you know what? It's time for us to scream out.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, everybody. Thank you, Anne, for being on here with us. I appreciate you so much. I much love to you.
Oh, yeah, and love to all of you.
And yeah, you're my hero right now. I'm telling you. I'm just so appreciative that you did come on here and tell your story. You're the entire live. We dedicated it to you, so here you go. Everybody, thank you for being here with us. We're gonna go ahead and call it a week, but we will be back next week. You have anything to say, Brian, since you're so quiet in the background?
No, you already said it all. The show was for Ann. It wasn't me. So there we go.
Chuck?
Yep.
I'm good. You said it
All
all.
right.
She said it all.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here, and yeah, we appreciate everybody, this community. We love you. God bless you. Hang in there for the next week, and love you. Thank you so much for coming on here, and we're gonna go ahead and call it a night.
Love you guys. Y'all have a good week.
Everybody.
Love you
Later.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.